Good morning and welcome to match 20 of the CWI Women's Under-19 T20 Championships here at the Lara Cricket Academy. This is Guyana versus Windward Islands. I'm Pity Ramphal alongside Visham Lalman for this one. And these two teams out of contention for the title. Just two teams remaining in contention for the title right now, Visham Lalman. And the news here is that, but still, pride to play for and places in the tournament. Windward Islands winning the toss and deciding to field, and they have sent Guyana in.
Yeah, good morning, Vidya. Good morning to all the viewers. Yeah, certainly. I think it's a battle for third place. Guyana, they are on 8 points and they are sixth at the moment. They are looking to knock Windward Islands out of that third spot and finish third in this tournament. Windward Islands, though, they are on 10. They are third. And if they win today, they'll go to 14 points and they will remain and finish on third.
So that is the situation with both games. The umpires for today, Maria Abbott of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Candice Laborde of Trinidad and Tobago. Candice Laborde will start at the presiding end at the northern end of the ground. It's going to be Glasgow to start off here. Barcoy and Grimond, the two openers for Guyana. Grimond starting on that hard length as she has done throughout the tournament. Down the leg side to start off here. Barcoy we saw in the last innings here at the Lara Cricket Academy. Very slow at the start. Started to pick up things later on. But for the Guyana batters, especially at the top order, because of these alarming collapses we've seen for Guyana, it's always going to be difficult for them to really bat with a free rein. First runs off the bat here. She didn't know too much about where that went. And Grimond gets to the other end.
Yeah, they would be accustomed playing the slower bowlers. You tend to see that from the Guyanese batters as well. They're very good at playing the slower bowlers. But with Janelia Glasgow operating with a little extra pace, that could prove to be a bit of a problem for them. And normally Ashmini Munisar, I spoke to her in that first game after their victory, and she said that, they're looking for one of their openers, to bat through the innings. That's what they normally look for. And it's normally that role is given to Naomi Barcoy.
Glasgow pulls out, and but for Guyana, for you today, from what you've seen of them, Guyana beating Barbados in their first game by 9 wickets, then steamrolling the Leeward Islands by 10 wickets. They looked good in terms of their. You felt that they had a chance of winning this tournament, but they were significantly derailed by that loss to Jamaica by 18 runs. And that is the match I was referring to, where Barcoy really batted slowly at the start, picked up pace, but when she went, left a massive gap for them.
Yeah, definitely so. She was very slow in that innings, and Jamaicans did well to hold her down there and hold that run scoring down. In the end, they lost by 18 runs. That's where their slide started in the tournament, and to this point, they'd had 3 losses already.
3 losses in a row. Grimond trying to get off the mark. After that, they had that massive loss to Trinidad and Tobago, bowling out TNT for 69, and then finding themselves bowled out for 29. They lost by 40 runs in a game. How do you lose a game by 40 runs when you bowl out the team for 69? That's a good short ball here from Glasgow. Good start for her. Yeah, that really hurt them a lot, and they went into that USA game very low on confidence, and also losing that one yesterday by 10 wickets. So 3 losses in a row for Guyana. They are on a slide, and they have to arrest that in this last game.
Yesterday they only managed 47 for 5 in 15 overs. USA chased down the revised target of 53. They got to 56 in 9.1 overs without losing a wicket.
Yeah, so they just went. So it's a game of it's a tournament of 2 halves here for the Guyanese. 2 very good games at the start and 3 tragic losses for them. On the other side, as the first over comes to 1 run in it, 1 without loss at the end of the first over. Guyana versus the Windward Islands. Well, as for the Windwards, they started off with that loss to the USA in their first game. But they beat Leeward Islands by by 122 runs. They had that abandonment against Barbados, beat Jamaica by 8 wickets, and lost to TNT. So it's been up and down. They have been competitive in every game, however.
Yeah, but they've still managed to get those 2 victories, hence they are third at the moment. They played a good tournament, I'd say, Windward Islands. They looked good in patches. They fielded well. You know, we've seen some good bright spots in their bowling effort as well, but their batting, you know, didn't really assist them, I'd say, that much in this tournament. We've seen some good performances from their captain Zeta James, also Janelia Glasgow, the top all-rounder for them, but yet still that batting a concern for the Windward Islands. They have a big opportunity here to finish third in this tourney. Looks to be Selena Ross coming into the attack now video.
After Ross in for her first ball, and she has started well already, so just right on line. Busy figure, the tall figure of Ross from the southern end. And Barcoy, they know that she has that capacity to go into a shell, so they really want to keep her in there right now. Good ball. Zeta James, who you saw just a moment ago, the very impressive captain of this Windward Islands team. Talk about captains a little bit later on, but what has to work here? What are the keys for Guyana to get the win here today? Well, that's gone. Barcoy has gone early here, and the early breakthrough for Ross, and the Windward Islands have taken a wicket within 8 balls of the start here, and those 2 early deliveries very, very tight. Barcoy playing, it seems, across the line, and has gone for 1.
Yeah, and you were asking me what they need to do correctly. I was about to say they need to have correct choice in their stroke play, and there was Barcoy going right across the line of a straight delivery to Selena Ross, and she has been caught plumb in front there. The umpire raising that finger, umpire Maria Abbott. So the first wicket goes down for Guyana. Naomi Barcoy, a lazy shot, I'd say. They're not playing positively there. She should have played that one straight back to the bowler or straight back down the ground.
Yeah, shot selection definitely would be one of those, but in terms of the performances of players, one of those I would have said was that Barcoy had to stay in and bat for a long time. That's not going to happen. Now, Ashwini Munisar, the captain, is in. She's also been very impressive in the way that she's dealt with her players in this tournament, but perhaps one of the criticisms you could level at her is that she hasn't taken care of her own form. Her own form has not been great with the bat in this tournament, and she has to come good here. Much very, very wide, easy decision. But she will have to fire if they are to win this game.
Yeah, she's a senior player, Ashwini Munisar. Apart from being the captain, she participated in that T20 blaze earlier in the year in Guyana for the Guyana senior team, the CG United Super 50 Cup as well. So you would really want to see her stamp her authority for Guyana.
She's a classy player. You look at the way she approaches her batting. She seems to have a lot of time to get behind the ball, and it just has not worked out for her in this tournament. And she's also very steady. She gets a little turn. She's very tight with her lines, and so she's the ideal player to lead this Guyana team. We'll get her first run here behind square. Just going to be 1, so 2 for 1 here, Guyana. She's another one of those players who has to do well today. Now, one of maybe 1 or 2 of the other names, Trisha Hardat is one. Ramnath also has to do well here today for them.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Melanie Dover with the bat as well, the wicketkeeper batter. She looked good, but she missed out on a number of occasions. I'd like to see her come to the party today if she does get the chance.
Driven nicely. The bowler should have done better with that. That might run away for 4. That is hit very well indeed. Timed that beautifully, Grimond, and picks up the boundary. So the first for Guyana of the innings, and it comes off the last ball of the second over. Guyana 7 for 1 at the end of 2.
Yeah, not looking to overhit the ball. Normally when you see a full toss being presented, you want to go for the big shot. But there was Grimond just timing that one back past the bowler in the V, and it ran away for 4.
Another one of the players for Guyana who you would want to see do well. There's, of course, the image of the Lara Cricket Academy from the top. And there's the man who's it's named after, the great Brian Charles Lara, who is perhaps one of the greatest of the West Indian batsmen we've ever seen. There's one of his trademark shots, the left-hander's version of the Gordon Greenwich pickup.
Yeah, one of his trademarks, Brian Lara.
Nice full delivery, and Munisar does well to score off it, putting the pressure on the fielders. This is a good start from her. This is what we need to see. Positive cricket from her. You interviewed her after the game in which they were beaten by Trinidad and Tobago by 40 runs, and you could have seen that she was extremely unhappy. I think she made a comment to you, "Go easy on me," here with the interview.
Yeah, after that, well, as we're about to start the interview, she said, yeah, go easy on her after that loss. And then, she's always someone who has good spirits. During the interview, she said that, she's just looking to keep the team motivated. Given they have 3 losses consecutively, it's going to put a damper on their confidence, but she's still looking to keep them motivated.
Edged, and that's going to fly wide off third man. Oh, that's gone for 4. That's the second bit of misfielding we've seen here from the Windward Islands. That really should have been kept away from the boundary.
It flew off the outside edge of the bat of Grimmond. It didn't look as though it would have run away for 4. But yeah, that should have been stopped there. Putting out the right boot. That's Brittany Pascal. But missing it in the end. So I don't think Janelia Glasgow would be too happy about that.
Certainly not. Better delivery here. A little tighter line. Previous one was outside the off stump and carved away for what turned out to be a boundary. So the players are very much aware of you, Mr. Lalman. They know you ask them all these tough questions after the game. So they know that they're very wary when you come around with your microphone.
Don't ask tough questions. I think that's you, Vidya. Speaking about yourself.
Yeah, and the way that Grimmond is playing at this, she's not committing to the shots. It's just allowing that to run through. As Glasgow 1.5 overs, none for 6. 4 of those coming off that boundary, which really should have been just 1 run. Yeah, she has been impressive in this tournament. Grimmond turned in some, Glasgow in fact, she's been turned in some really good performances.
I think, Grimmond is not making use of those short and wide deliveries as we saw from Chanel Sau yesterday of Trinidad and Tobago when they played against the Windward Islands. A couple short and wide deliveries from Glasgow they're presented to Rialana Grimmond. And it's a free swing outside the off stump, but she's just prodding at it, not confidently. She is not going through with those shots. There's 4 fielders inside the circle on the inner ring. Of course, it's a power play. You need to make use of that.
Well, Guyana definitely lead a lift here of this type, perhaps. And one of the many pieces of equipment around here. It's all preparation for the various tournaments. I don't think there are too many free days here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. There's, of course, the Under-17 tournament. Well, that won't be played here. Ross continues. And there is also the upcoming Caribbean Premier League tournament. That is going to be, there are going to be matches here.
And also the T20 international between West Indies and India on July 29th will also be played here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, just before the CPL. And that is going to be the first international game to be played here. We've had a lot of regional matches, a lot of local matches. But that is going to be the biggest of them all. And several of those Indian players who will be I'm sure will be a part of that T20 team have actually played here before.
Yeah, Shubman Gill, certainly one of those players. I think he had a double century here as well against the West Indies A team.
Oh, beautifully played by Munisar. Just picking up the single. That is a good bit of fielding. Glasgow ran around that very quickly. Munisar is going to have to take note of that. Note to self, don't take any singles when she's anywhere within a quarter mile of the ball. And saw part of that double century by just We did see that that double hundred, and that was something to see. It was chanceless. Also, Mohammed Siraj played here, and quite a few of the other Indians would have been here, so they would remember this venue very, very well. And it is, of course, the first men's international. Just a correction, because women's internationals have been played here. That was a wide, by the way. That's what Maria Abbott was signaling. So looking for the singles, but that was too close to the field at third man. I think the idea was good from Munisar, because she's seen as that the players are a bit slow to the ball, and she feels that there could be a run, but Grimond was never committed to that single.
Yeah, and you're speaking about the women's international games played here. West Indies women and South Africa women. A T20 series played here in 2018 at the Lara Cricket Academy.
That's why the players are afraid of you and your questions. You have all these bits of information hidden all over. 4 overs, 15 for 1. Munisar on 3, Grimond on 9. Guyana need to get a move on here. Good bowling again from Ross. Now for the Windward Islands, as the over comes to an end here, and the end of another over. So 15 for 1 after 4. Coaching staff of the Windward Islands team. Well, it's going to be the last day for them. They will depart, I believe, tomorrow. And, of course, the reports have to be filed. And I'm wondering what he's going to write and say to the higher authorities in Windward Islands cricket about this team. Certainly, when we've looked at this Windward Islands team, there are a lot of bright sparks. We're seeing the outlines of the players who will form teams for the Windward Islands women's team over the years to come.
Yeah, not just the Windward Islands team. I think, West Indies women's cricket is looking as though it's gonna have a bright future video. It's in good hands.
Another non-shot there from Grimond, and this young lady, Zeta James, is one of those who will certainly be in that West Indies team. You're seeing the size already. She's an outstanding player. Glasgow is another who is already part of that West Indies contract situation. She's awarded a developmental contract. Good ball. Just pulled the appeal back. Zeta James has been part of West Indies A-team tours before. She played against Pakistan last year. So that international experience has done these two young ladies very well. Trying to cut at that, and we've seen her struggle outside the off stump. And she's staying on the back foot, perhaps coming forward, getting that attempt to, that contact point out in front of you would be a lot better for her. More like it.
Yeah, certainly. Zeta James is someone who normally bowls a flat ball and slides on. Doesn't give the ball too much air. Unlike some of the spinners we've seen in this tournament.
Put a lot of spin on that. You can see the ball curving in before it just turned and straightened slightly. That's the international experience, because at international level, that's not going to fly. Well, it will fly after it's delivered.
But if you have a look at how Rialana Grimond is playing that cut shot, she's moving away rather than going into the shot video.
Yeah, she is. 15 overs gone. 5 overs gone. 15 for 1. And the Guyana camp looking nice and relaxed at the moment. And certainly the camp, there's the coach of the Guyana team. And the thing about the Guyana campaign has ended here. It started so promisingly for them. And now it's going to end. Hopefully, they would hope for a victory here.
They don't want to get that victory. Sitting at 6 at the moment, the Guyanese don't think they'd be happy with that position. Windward Islands, though, they played the finals here in 2019 at the National Cricket Centre against Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago being the defending champions in the tourney. And, well, they didn't get the better of Trinidad and Tobago. And again, in this time around, they're looking to finish third.
So it's going to be Nisha Alexander to bowl here. Haven't seen much of her in this tournament. And she's bowling. Starts off with a wide. At least, well, I thought it was a wide. My opinion does not count at all, apparently.
And I was certainly going down the leg side.
Very far down the leg side. So it's going to be an important partnership. Well, we talked about some of the keys to victory for Guyana. For the Windward Islands, of course, James and Glasgow are the two. Some of the other bit part players, or perhaps those who you'd like to see a bit more from in this one? Some swing.
Well, there are a number of players I'd like to see, these coaches do some work with. Nisha Cherry, one of the tall off spinners. I think she can be a handful, but she bowls a bit slowly, and I think she needs some developmental work. Wicketkeeper Anisha Fontaine as well. She didn't look that bad amid, some of the poor wicket keeping we've seen, to be fair, in this tournament. I think, the USA wicketkeeper and, of course, Anisha Fontaine from the Windward Islands, they've certainly looked the part in this tournament, apart from those other wicketkeepers. Chanel Sao, not counting her out as well.
Pulled straight to the fielder. That's well done. She got a nice little bounce, bouncing just in front of her, and made the stop.
And, of course, Vidya, the leg spinner, Abini Saint-Jean. We've not seen much leg spinners in this tournament. She's someone that they can work with as well for the future.
That's a wide. And she's getting the ball to move away from the right-hander here. Now, Grimond, that's going to trouble her because she plays off the back foot. And she hasn't been able to get many on the bat outside the off stump. Much better here from Alexander. Two deliveries allowed to go through that I felt that could have been wides in this over. But I guess the umpire losing patience with that previous delivery. 16 for 1 after 6. And several of the media personnel here for the matches. That's the setup. I'm sure you'd love to have a camera like that.
Yeah, why not? Take some good photos. High quality stuff.
And just getting the scores correctly. That's the manual scoreboard just below our position here. Very important for the players to keep track of what's going on out there. Straight to the fielder again. Just a little fumble, but no damage done to the score. Of course, last week, great tragedy here in Trinidad. One of the exceptional photojournalists in TNT, Anthony Harris, passed away after he was knocked down while riding around the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain. And really great pictures he's produced over the years, and certainly will be missed. Two journalists passing away on the same day here in Trinidad. Joel Nanton also. They passed away, and two great guys who have formed part of the media landscape here in Trinidad and Tobago. Push through the extra cover region. They should get two. Well, Munisar never seemed interested in the second run. Disappointing running from the Guyana captain there. That really should have been two.
Yeah, it should have, and this has been a problem for Guyana as well. Not just Guyana in this tournament, but a number of the teams not being able to take those easy singles and convert singles into doubles, as the case may be. Look at that, 6.3 overs. Guyana, they are only 17 for 1.
Now she's hit this well through the extra cover region. That's gone for 4. And worryingly for the Windward Islands, Glasgow just pulled up and did not chase that ball down. Might pick it up here. Well, that's a wonderful shot. Glasgow's going after it, and then what she realizes is going for 4. But something about the way she pulled up, I just hope it's not something of an injury.
And she was limping a bit as she went towards the ball. And she's going down to long off now. So she's been sent back to long off from that wide mid-off position.
Better delivery here from James. 2 full tosses and 5 runs coming off those deliveries. So that's the change. 2 fielders outside of the circle. One of them, Glasgow, as you mentioned. The other is out at deep mid wicket. So James back to that nice area just outside the off stump, turning it away from the batters. After 7 overs, Guyana are 21 for 1. And at this rate, they will get to 60 runs. That's not going to do much against this Windward Islands team that have some fine batters.
Yeah, Zayda James, sorry. Yeah, she looks the part, and she's certainly been in some form. Yesterday, she was looking as though she was going to take the game away from Trinidad and Tobago, striking some lusty blows. 4 boundaries in 2 overs. But, yeah, the Windward Islands batting lineup, they're certainly on top of their game at the moment. It didn't look so yesterday against a good bowling attack from Trinidad and Tobago, though.
That's behind square. That's going to be pulled back. That's brilliantly done. Brilliantly done on the boundary and saved the 2 runs well.
Yeah, that's Natalia Phillip doing the work down there. Excellent work, to say the least, from Natalia Phillip.
Yeah, 2 aspects to this. One, the stop was excellent. And then after that, the presence of mind to step back in before throwing the ball. Now, look at that. That's her wrong side. That's her right hand reaching across on her left side. Back live now. No run this time. And she was able to pull it back. But after that, she jumped over the rope and threw it in. Now, we've seen several instances of boundaries where the players are staying on behind the ropes and throwing the ball in. Pulled away. That's going to be another boundary here. That's well hit by Grimond. And she moves on by 4 more. So they're starting to lose their shape here a little bit, the Windward Islands. Too short.
Yeah, too short there from Alexander, and well put away there by Rialana Grimond. And as we know here at the Lara Academy, once you beat that in a ring, you find the gap, it will run away for 4. You get value for runs.
Better line, better length from her this time. Yeah, the Lara Academy field has been in great condition. And despite all of the games played here, the first games were the Under-19 World Cup matches. Yeah. And the wear and tear, that's a wide this time. There were some massive patches left after the month-long World Cup in terms of the advertising patches that were left on the field, and they were now there's no sign they were even there.
Yeah, that goes to
there should have been a single. No awareness from the 2 batters.
Yeah, I thought that Munisar should have been calling Grimond down for that run, because it's her call. It was behind Rialana Grimond's back.
Better, that's the area you need to bowl to Grimond. And after 8 overs, Guyana 28 for 1. And finally, the scoring rate starting to tick upwards here. So some of the areas that, of course, the ground's still very much in use. But you really have to admire the work done by the staff here in terms of retrieving the situation.
You know, just before this tournament got started, we saw the groundsmen seeding the ground video, you know, just to get back the grass in an order. The green thick covering of grass at the Lara Academy. We're dispersing the seeds all over the ground in a very systematic manner. They were lined off, about 10 of them, and they were walking, making a couple of laps around the ground, seeding the ground.
Seja, Abini Seja is going to be bowling now. She had an unfortunate experience yesterday. Leg spinner down the leg side, and that's a wide. Fortunately, yesterday she came in on the hat-trick ball against Trinidad and Tobago and was dismissed. First delivery. So 3 wickets in a row yesterday for the Trinidad and Tobago player. Flicked away for a couple a run here again. So that match later on is a virtual final between Trinidad and Tobago and the USA. Trinidad and Tobago just slightly ahead. But just to go back to yesterday. Took the edge that time all along the ground though. It was the Trinidad and Tobago player Amelia Khan who took the hat-trick. 4 for 17 in all, but it's the second hat-trick that the Windward Islands have been involved in the tournament. Swept away, 4 runs. Full toss down the leg side, and that was easy for Gramond to put it away. And she did so quite stylishly indeed for another boundary.
Yeah, sweeping nicely. Not getting the foot completely out there. Was a well pitched up delivery, but it was way outside the line of the leg stump. So it was a free swing there for Gramond, and she placed it away nicely for 4.
The hat-trick yesterday, Anisha Fontaine and Abeni Saint-Jean were the 3 players to be dismissed. 2 of them were actually also involved in the other hat-trick. So really unfortunate that they have found themselves in that situation. Suddenly nobody wants to be remembered as part of the trio of players to be dismissed in a hat-trick.
In 2 hat-tricks, no.
In 2 hat-tricks, and none less. Much less 1.
Yeah, I don't think they'd want to remember that at all. Something that they'd want to forget for sure.
Which is why you're reminding them of it. 30 for 1 halfway through the 8th over here. Yeah, that ball turning away from her is giving her enormous problems here. Gramond, 20 of 30. She has caught up almost, just brought her strike rate back up because of that. The flurry of boundaries in the last over.
Yeah, she's not been able to get away some of these deliveries, but yet still her run scoring not that bad. 20 of 31 now. But again, just a spot of bother here for the Guyanese. How are they going to approach this part of the innings here is what is going to be interesting.
Well, thanks for shedding light on that. It's definitely not going to be used today, because these matches tend to be finished by 6:30 or so. But they will be tested, I'm sure, as the upcoming matches in the CPL. So a lot of those night matches. First time that people will be allowed back in the stadium for 2 years. So I think there's going to be, it's fair to say that quite a few people will come out.
Quite a few, Vidya. I think a lot. The stadium is certainly going to be packed out for sure.
It's Alexander. Full toss again. Is there a fielder coming across? It is Glasgow, but she is going to catch up with this. No, it's not Glasgow. Well, she said it didn't go over the line. That was Crease who got that away. Let's see what happened here. Did that touch the line? Did it not? Let's see what she comes across to it, misses it. Oh, her foot is actually on the rope and the ball touches the rope. Don't think she saw it exactly, but 2 instances. I was looking at that. Was the 4 given?
Yeah, the 4 was given.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if a signal to the umpire was to tell the umpire that it was 4, or that the ball didn't hit the boundary rope.
Looked like she was signaling 4. And again, some swing here for Alexander. A bit too wide. She's starting it. Yeah. Munisar. Gramond is slightly the faster of the 2 scorers at the moment. So these two, the partnership has started to pick up here. And it's already put on, let's see, is that 40 runs? 39 runs they've picked up. Flicked away. More runs here. And more work in the outfield. This one picked up well with one-handed by Crease. Sends that one in powerfully.
Well, apart from that little mishap there in the field from Daniela Crease, she's looked really good in the outfield. She made a brilliant stop already earlier. And now looking at that pick up and throw in to the wicketkeeper Anisha Fontaine was top notch from the fielder.
Just 2 balls still to go before the break for 10 overs.
Alexander has been a bit too straight in this spell of hers. She's been straying down the leg side quite a lot.
it's a case of overcompensation because she's getting the ball to swing, and then when the wide is on the offside, and she tries to overcompensate by putting it down the leg side. That one a bit straighter, still down the leg side, and that's been the problem for her.
Yeah, I think Munisar missed out there. It was already way outside the leg stump. Had she went with that ball and get it over the head of the fielder at backward square leg, that could have run away for 4. But Alexander doesn't have that much pace as well to work with.
And off the over here from Alexander, her third over balled, and at the end of the 10 over period, Guyana 42 for 1, not in the best position here. Could have been a lot worse for them though.
Yeah, it could have, and I think what is good for the Guyanese team at the moment is that they have 9 wickets in hand heading into the final 10 overs. I think they would be happy with their position at the moment. 42 for 1 after 10. Yes, certainly the Guyanese, they would be happy.
Last 3 overs, the scoring rate has picked up. They've had 7 runs and over in the last 3 overs. Let's see if they can continue to get that scoring rate going as we move on up in this game. 42 for 1 after 10. Join us in a couple of minutes as we restart commentary. Bini St. Jean starts, and she starts with a poor delivery down the leg side and some rather ordinary fielding, and that has gone away for 4. So Guyana, their run scoring has started to pick up in the last 3 overs. Mentioned before the break that they're up to 20. They picked up 21 runs in the last 3 overs after getting 21 in the first 7, Visham. And with that boundary, another one, and they're picking up the 4s a lot more frequently now.
And what we are seeing as well, they are looking to rotate the strike when they are not picking up those boundaries. So that is good signs for the Guyanese. I'm sure the coach would have sent a message out there as well during that drinks break. And it's a good move here by Rialana Grimond, looking to take the attack now, looking to get her run scoring rate up a bit.
She has been aided by a succession of full tosses here by St. Jean.
Yeah,
another one, this time just one resulting.
And at times when it's not full tosses, they are too straight as well. As we said, Alexander down the leg side on a number of occasions. We've not seen that from her alone. A number of the bowlers as well. So that has been assisting them, as you said.
Well, that one squared up. There was some turn there on offer. And Munisar was just trying to turn it onto the onside. Just outside of your picture, there's just one player inside the circle on the leg side, and that player is at mid-on, so there's a lot of space for her to get pick up singles.
Yeah, and looking at the last shot as well, as she was looking to work that into the onside, she was falling over as she leant over to play that ball, and in the end it took the outside edge.
I don't think there was any contact there. Not too many of the players in this competition, as the wide is confirmed. Not too many of the players in the competition. One of the shots you haven't seen a lot used as a weapon against the off spinners is the sweep shot.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that too much. Also, the players using their feet, we haven't seen too much of that either. On drive, that should be one. So a lot of those shots, and I remember just a couple of sweep shots that have been successful, but I've not seen a single reverse sweep.
Yeah, we haven't seen that at all, and you are quite right to say that. Yeah, players using their feet. I don't think I've seen anyone attempted to do that.
Outside of one or two of the Barbadian players would have done so. The impressive calendar and holder of Barbados. There was just a couple I saw. Of course, I haven't seen all of the matches here, and it's been the blemish.
Well, Jason Prasad
so far in terms of the batting.
Yeah, video. So Jason Prasad, he was telling me earlier that is Tobago. That patch there is Tobago on the.
Yes, it actually does look well. In some ways, I'm not seeing little Tobago.
Well, he is telling me that video. Our cameraman Jason Prasad.
And the other one actually does look like Trinidad. Yes. You're right. Yeah. So I think it was some cultural function that took place here. Of course, persons in Tobago are looking at this and saying, "Qua?"
Yes, and yesterday Jason was enjoying himself as well during the rain break. He was saying that Trinidad was underwater and Tobago was underwater. While the rain came down here at the Lara Cricket Academy, little did I know that he was speaking about those patches on the outfield. I was a bit worried for my country of Trinidad and Tobago yesterday, Vidya, and Jason was speaking about that.
It's a slight hold up here, and this is because Munisar has a little problem, so she's going to head off to meet the physio. Wonder what it is. Some running repairs here for Munisar, and the magic spray is coming out. There it is. It's like that left bicep. Maybe a previous injury that has acted up here.
Yeah, just maybe. Good to see the physio getting out there quickly.
Ooh, there was a grimace and a wince there. You saw that?
Yeah.
It's the elbow, perhaps. And you tend to see this. You tend to get that from the jarring of the ball hitting the bat. The medial and the lateral epicondyle, as they call it, in the elbow. It's either one of them, I can't remember which one, gives you golf elbow and the other gives you tennis elbow. That's from the vibration of the ball hitting the bat. Ooh, that was close to the edge of the bat, taken by the keeper. And Pascal now on from the southern end. So we've seen Ross from that end, we've seen Alexander, now Pascal is here.
Well, Ross did well, the left-arm seamer from that end. So Brittany Pascal now being given the opportunity. I didn't see much of her in this tournament. I'm not sure if you did, Vidya.
just bowler terribly a lot. Most of the bowling has been done by the likes of Glasgow and James. That one looked a little bit wide, but inside that guidance red line there.
Yeah, just starting a bit too wide. She was too straight on the first delivery, and now looking to change that line. She just went a bit too wide on the off stump. That's a better line and length. I think this has been a problem as well for the Windward Islands. In these middle periods, when they are under the pump, they are not really looking to attack and pick up wickets.
I think you're right. Another wide. And perhaps it's a question of resources also.
Yeah.
Maybe not having the quality of bowlers to do that. And certainly it is. They are a work in progress here. And the bowlers who have been outstanding in this tournament for the Windward Islands have all played here before. They have played in this under-19 team in previous occasions. It's pulled out that time, Pascal. Signed Zeta James and Glasgow. They were here in 2019. So perhaps the bowlers that we're seeing here are just early in their careers. Next year we might see them a bit better shape. This one's played behind square. Two fielders out there. Just going to be one this time.
Yeah, and Maya Marcelin collecting that one cleanly. Down there at deep backward square leg and a straightish deep backward square leg, and she limits them to one. But the intent is there from Lara Academy to get runs. The 52 for 1 now, Guyana.
Straight to the fielder, and again we've talked about that during this tournament about not being able to turn over the strike. That was a delivery that there's a wide expanse, just one player between backward point and that mid-off position, and you hit that one fielder. And so I wasn't quite ready. Maybe somebody was talking behind her arm. Candice Laborde called dead ball early. She's at square leg. And Munisar is looking in the direction of the square leg, and I'm wondering why that is. Maybe there was a player moving that just caught her eye. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, and umpire Candice Laborde looked as though she was having a word with the third umpire as well. And she relayed a message to umpire Maria Abbott.
End of the over. At the end of the 12th over, Guyana are 52 for 1. And so in the last 5 overs, they have picked up 31 runs. The improvements here continue ahead of the upcoming matches. It's a constant. You really are the constant gardener if you are maintaining something like this. You really have a facility like this. A lot of work to keep it in shape.
Yeah, those guys has been here for quite a while. Last couple of weeks.
They were doing some painting yesterday.
Yeah.
They are jacks of all trade, you have to say. Now doing some work with the water. They're watching a bit more of the cricket yesterday, not today though.
Yeah, they're not in the best of positions now to get a good view of the cricket. They are more to the back end of the building.
Well, we are heading out to the back end of this innings, and where is it going for Guyana? Can they get up to 100 here? Right now they have gotten just about 6 and over in the last 5 overs, so they're trending. They were trending in the right direction. Yeah, Smith continues here. She is the 7th bowler to be used by Windward Islands here. So they have rung the changes.
Yeah, the Windward Islands team
Another misfield.
Yeah, they'll certainly get one there. Yeah, but that should have been stopped. That would have been a dot ball. I don't think the captain, Zeta James, would be happy. But yeah, the Windward Islands team, something we've seen from them and the captain, Zeta James, that's her seniority as well coming to the forefront. She's not afraid to, use different bowlers at any point in the game. Looking to get wickets at the moment. She's trying things. And it's good to see that she's giving these bowlers the opportunity to make an impact. Yes, it's the final game, so she's giving these players an opportunity. We didn't see Brittany Pascal bowl in the tournament as much. She has gotten the opportunity today. Krista Sky Smith, she has done some bowling, but coming in as a 7th bowler today, yet still she's getting an opportunity. That's good from the captain, Zeta James.
Oh, down the leg side, keeper just got a hand to it, and perhaps preventing it from going over the ropes, going out along the ground. That was traveling fast. Another wide. So 53 for one Guyana, 29 for Gramond, and this partnership has now blossomed very well between these two, and gone up to 54 now. So it's been hasn't been the fastest of partnerships. Will shape back into the batter. They got together after the fall of the first wicket. 9 balls were bowled in the innings. So 67 deliveries, and they have gotten 54 runs.
Yeah, and you can see Ashmini Munisar having a look to the scoreboard consistently. So she may be, looking to get a move on soon.
Another wide.
Umpire Candice Laborde stretching the arms. But yes, back to the Windward Islands and their options. Yesterday using 6 bowlers, neither Pascal, well actually Pascal was not used, so that would have been 7. Nisha Cherry had been left out from yesterday, from today's game. She bowled yesterday, so Pascal would have replaced her in the attack, and yesterday using 6, today 7, so they have an extra bowler today as well in the lineup. They've used an extra bowler today.
So a lot of options for the captain today, James, and she's using them all for the options so far, because she will be expected to bowl her 4 overs. Interesting action here by Smith. Very, very slow run up, but she attempts to use that quick whirl of the shoulders to really get the ball into the pitch. Brian Lara, some of the famous moments from his career. That was 1994, if I remember correctly, Visham.
Yep.
At the Antigua Recreation Ground, getting the 375, kissing the pitch. Eastern side of the ground. As you can see, it's a very breezy day here, and there tends to be a lot of movement for the bowlers, especially those who can move it away from the right-handers from the southern end. Tends to exaggerate that movement. One of the reasons why we've had 13 extras for the day.
Yeah, that has certainly assisted the bowlers. Well, not assisted them, but in bowling those amount of extras, those wide deliveries.
Should be 1. They should have gotten 2. They really just ambled the first run, and just 1 resulting, but that should have been 2.
I think that has been one of the main concerns for all teams in this tournament. They're running. That is something that they need to make note of. The West Indies staff working with the West Indies U19 team, women's team, that would be picked from this tournament. I think that's something that they would be making a note of, that they would need to work on. At least the running. I'm not sure what are your thoughts, Vinny, on that.
Yeah, definitely. At all levels, perhaps some would say. The running between the wickets needs some work. It's always a work in progress, teams. Finally, aggressive looking shot here from Gramond. 29 of 45. So in the last game here, the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, there was just before that TNT lost to TNT, really slow innings from Barcoy. That one, when she went, all the work was undone. All that work, the long vigil at the crease. Pulled away, in the gap. 4 runs. 2 fielders out there, and that was a good effort on the boundary, but it was too much power on it, and another 4.
Yeah, 2 straight again, making room there this time, pulling it away, opening up the onside was Grimond, and Marcelin couldn't get behind that. It raced away, and a welcome boundary, a timely one for the Guyanese.
61 for 1. They have been kept down to 29 against Trinidad and Tobago yesterday against the United States. 47 for 5 in 15 overs. So a better effort today, but still a lot more work to be done here. If they can get it around 100, it might be competitive. Oh, that's into the gap again. Another 4 for Guyana. And the Windward Islands, their bowlers who are on the fringe of the team at the moment, they're the ones being punished by the Guyana batters.
Yeah, new bowler today, Brittany Pascal coming in. And not having the best of times with the ball. 2 consecutive boundaries off the bat of Rialana Grimond, and she is certainly starting to get into the action now.
That's a short delivery this time, just into the mid-wicket area. Yeah, just 1. Good over here for Guyana, and that is the end of the 14th over. After that, it is 66 for 1. 66 for 1 after 14. So now the chance of getting to that 100 mark very much on the cards for Guyana.
Yeah, looking at the bowling for the Windward Islands, Glasgow and Selena Ross starting right at the top. Ross starting things off for the Windward Islands. 1 for 9 in 2. Glasgow none for 6 in 2. Zeta James, the captain, she bowled 2 overs as well, just conceding 5 runs. Nisha Alexander, none for 16 in 3. Abini Saint Jean, none for 14 in 2. Brittany Pascal, she has just been under the pump a bit, none for 12 in 2. But certainly Saint Jean being the most expensive thus far of the innings. And Krista Sky Smith just conceding 4 runs in her lone over.
A bit too short here from Smith, but straight to the fielder. James does the fielding. She's enjoying her time here, Smith. Last match for her. Yeah, she's telling us so. I didn't get that quite right. It's touching the front of her forehead. Yeah, look at her run-up. She's very, very, very slowly in. Just tries, and then after that, pounds it into the pitch. And I think that slow run-up, of course, she's not building much momentum there. I think she could actually add a lot of kilometers per hour to her run-up. If she could add some to her run-up, she'll also add it to her deliveries.
I have to agree with you there, Vidya. Her delivery stride and run-up reminds me of New Zealander speedster Scott Kugelheim. The way he comes and he runs in slowly, and as he approaches the crease, he builds up some momentum and he delivers quickly. She's not quick, but her run-up and delivery stride certainly reminds me of that. Of course, Scott Kugelheim will be playing for the St. Lucia Kings in this upcoming CPL.
Yes, his run-up is a bit faster at the start, though. And you can see, look, she's walking back faster than she actually is running in. And that's something I'm sure the coaches will be working on her on. Because of COVID-19, a lot of these teams were decimated in terms of players dropping out. The attrition rate was high for many of these teams. Should be 1 this time. Yeah, for all the teams, including Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of first-time players at this level in several of the teams. Players moving on to different sports. They've decided not to compete as a result of the COVID-19 situation. And COVID-19, a lot of people just stop playing completely.
Yeah.
So that happens. And then for women's sport, especially at the teenage level, there's a well-known phenomenon of a high attrition rate into that early teen period. Good delivery, much better, and her length has been good so far, but a bit more pace, I think she would trouble a lot more batters. End of her second over. Smith at the end of it, 67 for 1.
Yeah, I think Glasgow would be having a lot to say to her as well, you know, helping her around. And there's a good old friendly push from Ashmini Munisar to Janelia Glasgow. Of course, as you said yesterday, with the tournament being played in good spirits.
Yeah, it has been. It certainly has. And those two know each other very well. Some of the teams, I believe, staying in the same hotel, so they would get that opportunity to hang out a little bit. And that's all part of playing these tournaments, building friendships. And several of these players will be playing alongside each other for that trip to the United States, Lauderhill, where they will be playing the USA in an upcoming. That series has been proposed.
Yeah.
I think it's beyond maybe just the planning stage, a little bit beyond that.
Yeah, I think that would come off for sure. We'd have to wait and see what happens.
Well, there should be two. They've ambled through for one. Really, that should have been a second run. They were just too slow off the mark there in starting off with a single, and that's why the second run was not able. They weren't able to get the second run.
Yeah, just playing the ball with soft hands into the gap. There was obviously 2 runs on there. And these little things can cost you games.
I think they've missed out on 5 or 6 runs as a result of situations like that, if not more.
And we're seeing Pascal getting another over. Zeta James trusting in Brittany Pascal to bowl a third.
Glasgow bowled 2 overs, so she still has a couple remaining. Cut away. Fielder out there. Just going to be 1. So we really should be seeing James and Glasgow bowl out the rest of these overs here now.
Well, this has been something we've seen from them throughout the tournament. Glasgow and James saving their 2 overs to bowl those final 4 overs of the innings. But it looks as though that's going to happen again today.
Straight to the fielder. Oh, that's dropped. Good attempt. Just not able to get the hands under it. That's Gaines. That's what she's saying. Oh, yeah, she's feeling the hurt right now.
She enjoyed that. She would have enjoyed it more had she taken the catch. Look at that effort. It was in and out, the left hand, full length dive, but in the end she couldn't hold on. It's always difficult diving forward as well.
James takes one for the team. Yeah, that one hit a flush on the hip. Feeling the hurt right now.
And how many times we've seen video, fielders taking the catch cleanly, and as they go forward and the hands hit the ground, the ball dropping out at the very last moment.
Well, that was a chance for the run out, but that was a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better in terms of the running between the wickets. One more ball to go in the 16th over, so we might see James at this southern end. Right now the over taking place at the southern end. James from the northern end. I think they both bowled from the northern end, so I guess she would give that to a strike bowler. The choice of ends for Glasgow.
Yeah, Glasgow has fancied this end here at the Lara Academy, the northern end.
That beats the keeper. I'm not sure there was a deflection that got it past her. May have been. Yeah, so we might see Glasgow we're bowling the next over, and perhaps James from the southern end, where this over is being bowled right now.
Yeah, and they've been doing a good job at the back end of the innings, both James and Glasgow.
Another wide. Leaking runs here, the Windward Islands. Still, this last ball legal delivery will not come. 4 overs to go after this one. If they can keep it down to perhaps 20 runs or less in the last 4 overs, well, that's still pretty high. Maybe about 12 runs or so, it'll be in good shape. Try to wait on that one. Chance at a run out. Well, a better throw might have had Munisar in some trouble there.
Yeah, stop-start there from Ashmini Munisar. And she got back home in time though. But as he said, but have a look at this. The fielder is down for the count as she got that one through.
That might be the fielder who made the stop. Is that Gaines?
Looks as though it's Gaines, yes.
Alright, there she is. Yeah, the throwing position wasn't ideal, and as soon as she let it go, yeah, she felt it in the right shoulder immediately. Rotator cuff, perhaps.
Yeah, she looked in discomfort as she released that ball there immediately.
I said that was Grimond. Grimond, she actually may have had an opportunity to run out Grimond at the end closer to her. Grimond had actually slowed up because she saw, she thinks, oh my God, now I've hit it straight to the field. I've gone for the run. And, well, luckily for her, she threw at the other end. And now has gotten some pain in the shoulder. So the magic spray is out again.
Not too sure how much that will help Cheyenne Gaines. This could be a very nasty injury for her. We hope that she's okay, though. She's still holding on to that right shoulder.
Well, the physio will assess and decide if she can continue or if she has to leave the field. Let's see what happens. You know, I don't think she's going to continue. Doesn't look like she is going to be able to continue here. So that is the end for Gaines. She may not be back on for the remaining 4 overs. And the sign has come for the change. So the substitute will be on in a moment.
Yeah, it's not a good sight here for the Windward Islands team. Cheyenne Gaines having to walk off due to injury.
Natalia Phillip, I believe it is. Phillip is coming on.
Natalia Phillip, number 24, is going to come on.
Yeah, it's a throwing position. The left leg was way out towards the left. And may have been an old injury also. I mean, it's been a tournament that has been very congested.
Yeah.
The game's being played over 8 or 9 days or so. And for some of these teams, it has taken a toll. Remember, it's just 14 players per squad. So a lot of these players have had to play every game.
Yeah, most of them, the core of the teams would have had to participate in every game. You know, while some players would have underwent rotation. Certainly, we want to wish Cheyenne Gaines all the best as she look to recover quickly as soon as possible, Vidya.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for her, but this is, of course, the last game. Will be interesting to see if she can bat later on. So it is going to be Glasgow to continue her last 2. Well, she has 2 more overs to go. Correction. None for 6 off her 2 overs. Yes, she is. And there was that boundary that went from a misfield. Good start.
And this is something I'm not enjoying seeing from Rialana Grimond. She's meeting the ball, but it's just that at that last moment, if she punches the ball into the gaps, just maneuver that bat either to the right or to the left of the pitch, you know, and pick up those runs rather than having dot balls building up on you.
Been a lot more like that.
Yeah.
I think she's listening to you. So just one more. 43 off 59. Munisar 16 off 34. The strike rate for Munisar just about just over well, under half actually. Grimond has been going along a bit faster.
They have wickets in hand as well, 9 wickets in hand. So you'd expect them to look to take the attack to the bowlers here. Now, it's going to be difficult with Glasgow and James operating.
They're going for the single. That could be run out. Umpire says no. She got in. Well, the keeper had to take the ball and then apply it to the stumps. Well, not a powerful throw either. Let's see here. Munisar is just moving away. Yes, she got in. Even from here, you can see she did get over the line.
Yeah.
Grimond was the correction, was the batter.
Good decision by umpire Maria Abbott.
Another chance at a run out. Munisar is diving back in. And could they get the overthrow? They decide against it. That is not going to help her injured elbow at all. Yeah, I think she might have to get some other... she may have jarred the hip also as she went in.
We'll have to see what went on there. Certainly a chance for a run out. Had that been a direct hit, she would have been gone for all money. As she went down there, she hit the ground very hard there. Very strange position as well as she went down.
Well, they're gone for the run. There could be a chance at a run out here. Yes, that's gone this time. Munisar is out. Run out for 17. 3 balls, 3 opportunities for run outs, and then they get it right the 3rd time. So the 2nd wicket finally down for Guyana. Munisar's gone for 17.
That's how Munisar has to end her campaign with the bat here in the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars on the 19 T20 Championship. 17 she made, but here's how it happened. Just tapped into the offside, confusion again, and in the end, good throw and good run out executed as well.
Yeah, the keeper had to do some work there, and she did well to pick that up. It wasn't the easiest of throws, but Munisar has to go for 17, and she has now been replaced by Ramnath, who is out there for Guyana. So good work there by the substitute, Natalia Phillip, to execute the run out. But they're now trying to push, to force the issue here, Guyana. And as a result, the end of a 75-run 2nd wicket partnership between Munisar and Grimond. Munisar got 17 of those.
Well, this is nice to see, Vidya. You know, Munisar, as I said earlier, asked what she was saying at the start of the tournament, that throughout the tournament they would want one of their openers to bat through the innings. Barcoy did it at the start of the tournament. Now we are seeing that from Grimond. We are into the 17th over. We are not too sure if she's going to bat onto that 20th over, but she's certainly done very well here for the Guyanese. What she would need to do now heading into these next 3 overs, just up the run scoring a bit.
Of course, she'd love to get that 50 also. And she is at the northern end of the ground now, facing up, and it is going to be the captain of the Windward Islands, Zeta James. She will be bowling now. James, 2 overs, 1 maiden, none for 5. 5 runs off her 2nd over. So she's given Glasgow the choice of ends. So she's bowling from the southern end, the left-arm orthodox spinner. And, well, there's an attempt at a stumping there, almost a wicket. A lot of wickets, though, in Providence, you're now telling me.
Yes, West Indies batting first after being sent in by Bangladesh in the 2nd ODI in Providence, Guyana. They are 72 for 5, Vidya. West Indies batting first. They've lost Shea Hope, Kyle Mayers, Shamar Brooks, Brandon King, and Nicholas Puran for a golden duck. 72 for 6 now. Rovman Powell, he has just been dismissed by Shariful Islam for 13.
Yeah. As soon as you turned in, a wicket fell. What does that say?
In the wickets for Bangladesh, Nasum Ahmed, the pick of the bowlers, 3 for 14 in 8 overs. Mahedi Hassan Miraz, 1 for 10.
Declined the single that time, Guyana.
Yeah, Mossadegh Hussein 1 for 37 and Shariful Islam 1 for 5. Top run scorer for the West Indies, Shea Hope with 18.
17 also for Mayers there, so
Yep.
not the best of scoring cards. They're going to get the single now. Grimond running on the misfield, but they got it. James looking a bit unhappy with that bit of fielding. Hasn't been the best fielding performance here from the Windward Islands under-19 women's team. Left-handed Ramnath here. She has had a fairly good tournament with the bat and ball, but like all of the Guyana players, maybe hasn't done quite as much as the Guyana team management would have hoped. Well, that should have been a run. Into the gap, and no attempt to take the single.
You could have heard the coach there of the Guyanese team shouting out there, come on, come on, come on.
They could have run 2 almost.
Yep.
1.5 definitely was on.
The fielder took a while to get around to that one.
Straight back to the bowler and gone. Left-hander trying to turn it onto the onside and hitting against the spin, and James takes a very good catch. That's her first wicket, and that's 3 down for Guyana now.
Well, how often have we seen that? Not taking a single of the previous delivery and the wicket falling off the next. Ramnath has to go for a duck. Playing that one straight back to the bowler Zayda James, who won't miss many. Took a simple catch in the end. So first wicket for James, 1 for 6 in 3 overs. Guyana 77 for 3 now.
So Grimond 44, she's still there. Ramnath has to go. So just 2 balls to go, 2 overs to go, and Candice Laborde perhaps checking on the situation with how many the time. Let's just take a look at the time here. It is 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. They're supposed to take up 75 minutes, and according to my calculations here, that 75 minutes is already gone.
80 minutes now.
Now there were some hold-ups. Well, one, of course, for there was 1 hold-up for the injury.
Yeah.
At least 2 hold-ups for injuries, so they might factor that in.
Yeah, there was when Ashmini Munisar was getting some treatment to her bicep as well. Then there was Cheyenne Games needing to get treatment as well.
I think it was more elbow, the lateral left condyle, maybe. See what's happening here. Ramnath is just walking back. Well, it's not that she's not out. She has been dismissed. But but she's putting a helmet back on. It's a bit of a discussion here. James is asking the umpire what's going on. And Ramnath is still there. Let's see what's happening. Was it a question over the dismissal? We could just take a look back at how that dismissal happened. Now, I don't think there's a question over that, because it seemed that James had taken it cleanly. Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. That was a good catch delivery by James, and she took the catch well. No, Ramnath is out, but I think, is it a question of maybe, well, this is part of the replay. Now we're back live here. Yeah, Ramnath is now departing, so that's it. And it is going to be Trisha Hardat to come in for Guyana. So, not sure what that hold-up was for, but I know the amount of time has elapsed already. So Nifina Ramnath dismissed without scoring. Trisha Hardat is back. 77 for 3. 2 overs to go here. Guyana, they still have Grimond, who is out there on 44. So just a slight correction there to what you're seeing. But Grimond is still out there on 44. She's going to be facing up now because the over had come to an end after that dismissal. And Glasgow, 3 overs for 8 runs. What a good spell from Glasgow. And 4 of those runs came off a misfield. So let's see how she fares here. Oh, playing across the line here, Grimond. That's a good delivery from Glasgow.
Well, long off is quite wide, and that was a delivery just on a mount forward stump. I think she could have been driving that one back down the ground. She could easily get 4 if she plays it powerfully. If not, she can get 1, maybe 2. Who knows, Vidya? That's an opportunity for some runs.
Very straight long on and a wide long off. As Glasgow just pulls out deep extra cover in place, deep cover in place, and a deep mid-wicket. So those are the 4 fielders outside of the circle at the moment. Protection for Glasgow. Nobody has really been able to deal with her sufficiently in this tournament.
Yeah, and more so in this period of the game as well. At the back end, she's been difficult to get away.
Got some bat onto that, Grimond, but straight to James. Yeah, and you're seeing the outlines of a career forming here for. This is why we've seen so many indications of why she's earned that developmental contract from Cricket West Indies. A lot of potential and no qualms about bowling at the death end of the game also for her.
Looks to be a special player. Good find for West Indies cricket.
And for the Windward Islands.
Yeah.
Not too many of the Windward Islands and Leeward Islands players occupy places on the West Indies women's team. It's great to see these players coming through and challenging for places, challenging the more established cricketing nations within the West Indies. Straight to the fielder. Good, very, very good here from Glasgow. 4 balls bowled, and she has not conceded a run so far.
Yeah, definitely. And 8 runs in 3.4 overs. That is a special spell thus far. Both her and Zayda James not going for many. They've been stingy.
22. It's been Scrooge-like.
Yeah.
Oh, that is pulled away well. This could go for 4. Yes, that's the first boundary of her bowling since the first over that she's bowled. And that was well pulled away here by Grimond, who's on to 48 now. Just 2 away from her 50. This was a fine shot.
Yeah, it was all about the off stump, but she did well to play it away on the onside. It was brave, but to be fair, it was bouncing a lot. So, she did well to play it away. Good looking boundary. And just 2 runs away from that half century. This would be a very fine knock from the opener, Lara Grimond.
Straight to James this time. And Glasgow's spell has ended. 4 overs, none for 12. She hasn't taken a wicket today, but that has been part of the Guyana planning. They need to respect that bowler and play her out, and they've done so well. Guyana 81 for 3, 19 overs here. So they're definitely, unless something untowards happens here, they will not get to that 100, Visham Lalman.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And Grimond coming to the party a bit late in this tournament as well. But coming into this tournament, she was the leading run scorer in Guyana in the U19 Inter-County tournament played in May. With an aggregate of 120 runs. She struck an unbeaten 91 against Demerara. So she came into this tournament with some form, but that form just diminished at the early period of the tourney. But she's now coming to the party a bit late though for the Guyanese.
Flicked away straight to the fielder. They get 1. There could be a run out here. The stump's out of the ground, and Candice Laborde says no. That'll be interesting viewing. Wonder if she collected that correctly, if she didn't collect it at all. Here's the throw coming in. Keeper collects the ball. That's why she never collected it at all.
Yeah, that would have been Grimmon going back without getting the opportunity to get her half century. But luckily for her there, I think she would be thanking the wicketkeeper Anisha Fontaine for that miss.
Wasn't the best of throws either, just in front of the keeper.
Yeah.
Always difficult to pick those up. Hits that straight. This could go for 4. This should be her 50. She's gone for 1. They will make the 2 runs, and that is 50 for Rialana Grimmond, her first of the tournament. And boy, she enjoyed that. 50 of 72 deliveries, and that has been lifting Guyana all the way through this innings. They are 84 for 3.
Yeah, top knock from the opener. Well accepted, well acknowledged by her teammates. And this would do her confidence a world of good moving forward.
She's gone for the big hit and completely missing that one. So there is some reward if you hit it long, but as we're speaking now, mid-off and mid-on become long-off and long-on, as James deciding to push those 2 players behind, just in front of the ropes. Straight to Glasgow, no run this time. So just 2 balls to go now for the Guyana innings here. 84 for 3. Another dot ball. James has been miserly all the way through the tournament into death overs, and she continues to do so well here. 1 for 9. Just 1 ball to go in the innings. And another dot ball, and that certainly has summed up this performance from the Windward Islands in large parts. Their 2 quality bowlers at the top, James and Glasgow, have been excellent. Between them, they have conceded just 17 runs, but Guyana, a more encouraging batting performance, 84 for 3 off their 20 overs. Grimmond ending not out on 50, Haradat on 1, and certainly the performances of James, of course, Glasgow and Grimmond have stood out today.
Yeah, definitely. You have to give credit to the senior players, Zeta James and Janelia Glasgow. Not just them, but Selena Ross did well as well, the left arm seamer. But I think this may just not be enough for the Guyanese. We'll have to wait and see. But they didn't look as though the innings never really got going. But credit to Rialana Grimmond. She did well with the bat. She finished on 50. But I think for the Guyanese, the problem in this innings lied in the lack of rotation of strike video.
Yeah, it certainly did, as with many of the teams. Well, Windward Islands, they will chase down 85 for victory. Certainly hope that you will join us for that in just about 9 minutes or so. We'll be back at that time. Grimmond's 50 certainly standing out here for Guyana. Welcome back to the Lara Cricket Academy. Guyana getting 84 for 3. Windward Islands will chase down 85 for victory. Retumaya is just about to start. She's bowling from the northern end. James and Smith are the two batters out there. Smith facing up the first delivery. Retumaya has been one of the better bowlers for Guyana in this tournament, and she has to start well. She has to continue to take wickets early here for Guyana if they are to get a win to sign off this tournament and end that run of 3 straight losses. Windward Islands are going to get looking for the win today. That will lift them up to 3rd in the table. She's appealing for an LBW decision. That looked to be going down leg side. Video Ramphal alongside Visham Lalman. And 85, not a big total here for the Windward Islands to chase down. Guyana, you feel, will have to bowl out the Windwards if they are to win this one.
Yeah, I think that would be the aim of the Guyanese. They would need to get all 10 wickets. It's not a case of restricting the Windward Islands batters, but it's a case of picking up 10 wickets.
Nice single to start off. Let's push to the mid-on region and an easy run. And for Guyana, they'd be a little bit disappointed that went straight to the fielder and they weren't able to stop it. Amin was the one coming in to do the fielding.
And the batter standing in strike now. She would certainly be in the way of the Guyanese. Zayda James, they'd want to remove her early. It would be a big moment for the Guyanese to see the back of Zayda James walking back to the dugout very early in this innings.
Bit too wide there this time, and James allows that to run through. So, Windward Islands, 2 without loss. 85, certainly they don't need their team, that they will not need donations of extras from Guyana.
Yeah, you can't afford to bowl extras when you're looking to defend such a small total.
Well, that one just jumped on James. She's not the tallest of batters. But that one just unable to control that one. Almost went back to the bowler.
Yeah, but playing it with soft hands in the end there. Just dropping her hands on it at the very last moment. And that's good cricket there from Zayda James. Understanding what she needs to do with those deliveries. Just jumping on her.
Well, mixed bag here from Retumaya at the start. Another wide. So the final day of the competition of the CWI Women's Under-19 T20 Championships. Yeah, the Lara Cricket Academy matches have ended at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. At last match, USA beating Guyana there yesterday. Today, Guyana attempting to get the win. Have to defend 84 to win this game. That's an elegant shot from James, straight to the fielder. Munisar is there as usual. And she has been very good through this tournament. But this is not the biggest of totals, and Guyana will have to bowl very well here.
They would, and they would remember the Windward Islands team chasing down 97 for victory against Jamaica on Monday of this week.
A big part of that was James.
Yeah, James had 52 not out of 53 deliveries. She saw her team home, both her and Namaya Marcelin. She had 18 not out as well.
4 without loss at the end of the first over. A couple of wides in there for Retumaya. So not the ideal start for Guyana. They will have to take wickets early and keep taking them if they are to topple this Windward Islands team. And Guyana would have had those 3 losses to Jamaica, to Trinidad and Tobago and the USA, hoping to close off in much better spirits here.
And speaking about that game in which the Windward Islands chased down 97, they did it in 15.3 overs, Vidya. They did it at some rate as well.
Just over 4 and over.
Yep.
Yeah, so actually over 6 and over, just a correction. That was a pretty good chase by the Windward Islands, and once James is there, she can stay in. She is quite quite adept at working the ball into the gaps and picking up those boundaries. Here's Haradat. So she's going to play herself in. She does have the luxury of not chasing down a large total. And as we saw against Trinidad and Tobago yesterday, she's a dangerous player.
Yeah, she is. It'll be interesting to see how she goes here.
On the leg side. Field is on the leg side. One at, let's start at the fine leg position. Also a backward square leg. There's an extra cover. And there is a mid-off in place. Mid-on, there's a mid-wicket and a point in place on the offside. Also a third man. Again, striking the pad, but she's coming right arm round the wicket. So that's always going to be heading down the leg side from that position for James.
And this is what Haradat does well. She's not afraid to pitch the ball up. There's Zeta James now checking her guard. It looks as though she's taking a leg stump guard there.
Right, the leg stump or middle and leg. And one of those. And Chandapal style, yeah. She takes off the bails. Of course, he was the first player I've ever seen do that, Shivnarayan Chandapal. And he is here today. He's going to be coaching the USA against Trinidad and Tobago later on. Another wide. And it has been good for the tournament, despite the abandonments of several games, that we've had a situation where it is a round-robin tournament, but we have a virtual final. So often we see round-robin tournaments end in a rather damp way. Not this one. The two unbeaten teams clashing in the very last game of the match, of the tournament itself.
Yes, certainly Trinidad and Tobago and the United States of America coming up against each other later this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Both on 18 points. And they are tied, of course. 5 matches played, 4 wins, and each of them having 1 abandoned match to their names. So, yeah, it's going to be a big final. Expecting a large crowd to come in here at the Lara Academy.
Already a lot of people have come out, a fair amount have come out to watch this game. And this is going to be a fine contest between Windward Islands and Guyana. Guyana, if they are to get a firm hold on this game, they have to get rid of Zeta James very early.
Yeah, I think she holds the key here for the Windward Islands on the 19 team if they are to get over the line. But that was an excellent over from Haradat.
Yeah, it's a good start for her. Just the 1 run off it. And so 5 without loss after 2 overs. And at this point, Guyana was 7 for 1. Guyana actually really struggled in the first 7 overs. 21 for 1 after 7 overs. Then they started to pick it up after that. And then at the end, really slowed down after James and Glasgow got going in those last 4 overs.
Yeah, but that tactic again from the Windward Islands team, James and Glasgow bowling the final 4, proving to bear fruit for the team.
Just 17 runs in those last 4 overs.
And 2 wickets as well coming off those final 4 overs.
Yeah, it was a very good performance from the Windward Islands. Encouraging signs for the Windward Islands, who have tended to struggle at the regional level in women's cricket. But a team that is being formed here. Still a lot of work to be done, though. Down the leg side. That wasn't that far away.
Struck the pad, it seemed, as it went through to Dover.
Yeah, just clipped the top of the pad. Well taken by Dover. That just seemed to fly in a different direction, and she kept her concentration well.
This is something we've seen from Retamaya video. Normally you tend to see bowlers getting the ball to tail into the right-handers here running in from the northern end at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, but Retamaya is getting the ball to move away, angling that ball into the right hand and getting it to move away. Troubled a lot of batters.
In the air, not going to carry. Just dropped. In fact, if umpire Candice Laborde had stayed where she was, she might have been able to catch that. It was a very hilarious situation in a match a couple of weeks ago. Sri Lanka in Australia during a limited overs match where the umpire, Kumar Dharmasena, forgot himself for a moment. That's a nice looking drive. They will get runs. Yeah, the ball was hit into the air towards the square leg position where he was, and for a moment it seemed that he was just about to catch it and remembered himself. Oh yes, I'm not playing for Sri Lanka anymore. Because I did see him play here in Trinidad for the Sri Lankan team that came here in 1996 after winning the World Cup. A centenary match to celebrate 100 years of the opening of the Queen's Park Oval. And that's another wide. Yeah, just there was a really good catch by Dharmasena in that game off Phil Simmons, one that appeared to be heading over the boundary for 6. He ran a long way, took it, and kept himself running along the ropes to take that catch. Always stands in my memory, that catch by Dharmasena. I have a feeling that's down the leg side. I have a feeling if he had taken that catch in the game against Australia, that one I would remember a bit more. End of the over, 8 without loss. Harish Raghunath, the curator on charge of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. That's Harish to the left in the blue shirt, and some visitors here, Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Of course, with the CPL coming up, the sponsors are always here to take a closer look at how things are and get the arrangements going. Sponsors and organizers always passing through. Here's Hardat. Oh, there's a mix-up. There will be a run out here if they can get it back in time. They didn't. Guyana waste an opportunity to get a run out earlier.
That would have certainly been a run out there, but not getting it back in time. Let's look at it again. Waited long to get it back to Hardat and wasn't the best of throws as well.
Settled moment between these two. Smith was so far away from a crease. I swear she had to get a ticket to get back into the stadium.
Yeah, but she was lucky to still be here. Crease of Sky Smith. And when you're defending such a low total, you want to take those chances. When presented, you want to be on your A game in the field.
Another wide. And it hasn't been a great start here for Guyana. A lot of wides. Very ordinary deliveries, and the fielding just before that, not the best.
Yeah, that's a good call by the umpire. Definitely outside that guideline.
Full toss. Driven away. There's a field out to the boundary. And just one this time.
And this is what comes, with your seniority from Zayda James. When you're looking at the Guyanese batters, they're playing the ball straight to the fielders. But if you look at how Zayda James is driving that ball through the offside, she's just looking to angle the bat to get the ball in the gaps. She's playing smartly, and that comes with experience.
Yeah, it does. She's a fine player, and she's up to 3 off 13. Slow start for her, but she picks up with boundaries later on. Yeah, Smith essaying a big drive. There's a massive gap between that extra cover position and the backward point. There is a deep cover in place. Yeah. If you can get it to sufficiently in front of cover, you could get a boundary.
Feet was going nowhere though. I think that's where the fault lied there.
Good delivery from Hardat. She looks more comfortable bowling from over the wicket. Round the wicket, it's a bit of a problem for her.
She gets the ball to move generously away from the right-handers. Both her and Sienna Retemaya have done well at the top for the Guyanese, but they'll be looking for an early breakthrough. They have not gotten that quite yet.
Off the pad, down the leg side. Umpire Abbott moving away quickly. End of 4 overs. Windward Islands 10 without 4, just 2 runs in that over.
Speaking to her after that bowling performance against Trinidad and Tobago on Monday, there's a member of the Windward Islands staff getting a tea, maybe a coffee. Walking back, I think Vidya will be looking to get down for some coffee later.
That's a lot of coffee. It's about I think I could do with one of those right now. Michael Rupois, our technical operator, looking across enviously also. I think we could talk to Michael when he's not had his coffee though.
I think he's a happy man today. The rain is not falling, so his knee is in check. Good day to talk to Mikey.
Well, that down the leg side, James looked interested in seeing if that was going to be a wide. I think Retemaya got away with one there.
Yeah, I was stealing down the leg side quite a lot. Yeah, but it's good to see the weather holding out nicely, Vidya, today for the final day of this tournament. The sun is out in all its glory.
Hit well over the head of the fielder, and that's going to run away for 4. And the first boundary for Zeta James. And she hit that wonderfully well and straight.
Some power in that shot. The ball was stealing into her. She went with it. She saw mid-on inside the circle. She got it over the fielder's head and it ran away for 4. Good looking shot from Zeta James. And a much needed boundary at the top as well. Her first of the innings.
No chance for Durant to catch up with that. And James has seen enough. She's faced 15 deliveries. Just around this time, that's when she starts to press her foot on the accelerator. And here it goes again. This time straight to Munisar. Gets in behind it well. Yep, that's how hard it was hit.
Yeah, that struck there powerfully again. She's looking to get quick runs now, Zeta James. She's not going to muck around.
Just pulling out that time, Retemaya. She had some good spells in this tournament in her 3rd over. And as we've seen from her through this tournament, she likes to bowl all 4 on the trot. So that might very well happen here again. But James is in one of those moods. Runs here for her. Just 1 this time. Deep cover comes off the boundary. Raghubir does the fielding. Is that Raghubir? No, it's Barkoy, I believe, coming off the boundary. 19. So Guyana have to do something here, Visham. They need some wickets.
Well, that's the name of the game right now for them. They're not looking as though they're going to get an early one. Zeta James and Krista Sky Smith painting a different picture at the moment.
In the air, but not going to carry to the fielders. Just 1 more. Wondering if perhaps the Guyana captain, Munisar, perhaps should have applied the pressure a bit more. Instead of pushing that fielder out on the boundary, keep them in the circle and really try to keep a tighter lid on these Windward Islands batters.
You want to build up pressure. Already starting with a low total. That just releases the pressure on the Windward Islands, but you want to build pressure, and that pressure would come with dot balls, and then with those dot balls would come wickets as well.
And that pressure eases with wides.
Yep.
By none for 14 in her 3 overs. going down the leg side. And Rettemeyer, seemingly hours after the keeper appeals, then starts to get into the appeal, but that is the end of 5 overs. 17 without loss, 7 runs in that over, best one of the innings so far for the Windward Islands. It is a fine day. Those nice fluffy cumulus clouds are moving away south of the Lara Cricket Academy, and that east of the ground there, just on that hill on the east, during the 2020 CPL, there were people sitting up there watching the games with binoculars, and the police had to go and move them out because we were very much in COVID-19 at that period, and they were not allowed to come and watch the game.
And that's, the nature of the supporters here in Trinidad and Tobago. They always want to, find that opportunity to look at cricket.
You weren't one of them, were you? I had a feeling I glimpsed you from up on the hill.
Just yesterday I was praising you for your vision video. Couldn't be me. You saw up there.
Have to check the logs at your home to see where you were. 17 without loss. Here's Haddad continuing. Better delivery here. Oh, that was close. I think she would have been in. Overthrows. Maybe another one in it here for the Windward Islands. They get 3. We have not seen many 3s run in this tournament. We've seen one now.
Yeah, that's excellent running from Chris Sky Smith and Zeta James, seizing the opportunity to get those 3 runs. Not good fielding there, not good backing up.
Yeah, it has been a deflated performance from Guyana here. Yes, they've gotten 84 for 3, but they've started off with a succession of wides. There have been 6 extras so far. There was that missed chance for the run out. Windward Islands in the ascendancy here, 20 without loss after 5. They're building up ahead of steam. A change has to be made here. They're not looking threatening, Hardat and Rettemeyer. And I don't think the captain's going to have to wait too much longer. She needs to bring herself on as quickly as possible.
Yeah, herself or Navina Ramnath, who has been in the wickets in this tournament, the off-spinner. Both Munisar and her, the 2 premier off-spinners for Guyana.
Takes the edge. Feel that wide third man. They go for 2. Well, they decide to go against it. Wasn't the best of throws, but what was good from Rettemeyer. She got there quickly and released the ball very, very quickly indeed, and that prevented the second run.
Yeah, good feeling there by Sienna Rettemeyer, the opening bowler for Guyana. But yeah, Navina Ramnath, the off-spinner, has been in the wickets in this tournament for Guyana. 2 for 3, 3 for 3, and 3 for 10. That 3 for 10 coming against Trinidad and Tobago just on Monday in their last game.
Well, she's running down the track here, Smith. And Smith trying to tempt the fielders into throwing wildly. Straight to mid-wicket. And she almost got halfway down the track before she was sent back by James. Gone for a big hit. This is going to be caught. Munisar's not going to drop that. And that is an easy catch, and it is the first wicket. And Smith, who was certainly looking very unsettled, has gone. And she's out for 6. Windward Islands at 21 for 1.
Yeah, and Ashmini Munisar calling in her troops. And just get them back. This first wicket can really get them in the game. Chris Sky Smith looking to go over the onside with that one. And Haddad getting the ball to move away consistently, proving to be the demise of Chris Sky Smith. It was skied up into the air. And Ashmini Munisar, she doesn't drop many. Look at it here. Haddad. She was hoping that Munisar took the catch, and well, she did. So that's Chris Sky Smith going back for 6 of 15 deliveries.
There's a player down for Guyana at the moment. That's the keeper, Melanie Dover, just doing some calisthenics, and the captain, as always, she's always there trying to assist the players. I tell you what, there have been of the captains in the tournament, she has been very impressive, as has been James. Shalini Samaru has also been good for Trinidad and Tobago, has been the USA's captain. So those are 4 of the outstanding ones. But of course, the selectors will be looking at possibilities here for the selection of a captain for that upcoming series against the USA in Lauderhill. And I think the 2 captains here would be strong candidates for captain and vice captain.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Really like the attitude of Ashmini Munisar.
That's the end of Hardat's over. She is through 3 overs, 1 for 7, 21 for 1 after 6 overs. The issue of captaincy also comes with the issue of have you done enough to keep your place on the team?
Yeah.
And if any, Shalini Samaru will have a stronger argument perhaps than Munisar. James also has a pretty good argument because she's bowled well, she has batted well. So that's another name in the hat there for the leadership of that West Indies under-19 women's team.
Yeah, and of course you mentioned Munisar being right up there as well. But the performances in this tournament, she started off well with the bat, with the ball, just falling away at the back end of the tournament as well. But her leadership didn't fall away at all.
Yeah, you know who's in charge, and
Yeah.
she has that nice touch about her. She's always has an arm over the shoulders of her players, even though they might be a foot taller.
She's going to come into the attack now for sure. You're calling for her to come into the attack. I think she heard you, Vidya.
A little bit surprised that she has replaced Retamaya, who's tended to bowl her 4 overs in one spell. But Munisar sensing that something has to be done here. It's bowling from the northern end, and she's just moving the pieces into play here.
Yes, so there's a long off field line position. Sweeper on the offside. There's a deep forward square leg on the boundary. That's the 4 fielders on the boundary rope here at the moment for the Guyanese team. There's a short third man, backward point, cover, mid wicket, and a wide fine leg inside the circle.
As Pishan would have mentioned, it is Glasgow who's out there now, so the 2 lefties out there for Guyana, and that's one of the reasons why she's come on with the off spinner, turning the ball across the left-handers.
But to be fair, Vidya, I think I would have liked to see a slip been introduced as well. You're looking for wickets, new batter coming to the crease, Janelia Glasgow. You want to get either one of these batters out, if not the 2. I'd have liked to see a slip being introduced. Ball turning away from the bat as well.
Oh, that one just deceived her in the flight. Munisar, as you mentioned, made her senior debut for Guyana. Certainly one of those players you will see in the future at the helm of a Guyana team. That could very well happen. Perhaps even a West Indies team. Who knows? Played outside of the line of that one. End of the over. Nice tidy one there from Munisar. And a maiden over from her. 21 for 1 after 7 overs. And despite the slightly better start from the Windward Islands, they are in exactly the same position that Guyana were after 7 overs. 21 for 1.
Yeah, they want to get their run scoring up, but they would know that it's not difficult. There's the lush green area to the eastern end of the ground. The hills to the eastern end, where video is saying that a number of persons were looking on from there to the CPL action here at the Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, there's a road just behind that, but you already know that.
Video's pinning me on that. He's saying that I led those persons there. I did not.
Hardat will bowl her last over here. 3 overs. She's taken a wicket in the last over, her 3rd over. So now 5 balls to go. 1 for 7. Very good from Hardat today.
Yeah, she's been really good, not just today, but throughout the tournament. And she's following up a good spell with the ball against Trinidad and Tobago today as well. But they'd have wanted another wicket. If she can prize out another one here for them now, either James or Glasgow, I think she'd be happy.
It's not going to interest James. It was around this period that Guyana started to get things together. They got 21 runs between the 7th and the 10th over, 27 runs in that 5 to 10 over block in their innings. They started to accelerate now. It was in the last 4 overs that when James and Glasgow came in, that's when things started to go downhill for them. They lost a couple of wickets late on. Reaching across it, another wide. As if to emphasize, well, could have been an overthrow there. Not sure what Dubur was trying to do. Was that a shy at the stumps, I think?
She was looking to just maybe see a run out, who knows? But luckily for the Guyanese team, no run there allowed to the Windward Islands.
Full toss, that's an easy one for James. So that'll bring Glasgow back on. Glasgow very confident in her batting, and we saw some powerful shots from her yesterday. She hits the ball a lot harder than James, a bigger player, more muscular, and she drives the ball fiercely.
She'd want to finish this game off. I don't think they'd want to leave too much for the back end here. Yes, it's a low total, and these little totals normally tends to trouble batters and a team chasing.
Another wide here for Hardat. They're starting to really pile up now the overs, the wides in this over.
Yeah, that won't help the cause of the Guyanese team as well. And we've seen in the past that teams, you know, find it difficult to chase down low totals. The pressure gets to them. Actually, Glasgow and Zeta James would be aware of that.
And the wide, that's inside the line. That's all right. So it's key here for Guyana to get a wicket against. They could get one or both of these batters quickly. We could see that alarming collapse that happened again for the Windward Islands yesterday. If you're playing against the Windward Islands and you've seen a team collapse twice alarmingly in a tournament and give up hat-tricks in 2 games within the last 3 games, well, you know there is a batting collapse lurking around the corner for them.
Yeah, and Guyana, of course, they would have done their homework. They would know that. But yet still, you don't want to depend on that. You want to be...
Good stop. Chance at a run out. Well, that was good fielding. Cremanda doing the business. She got 50 earlier. She is pumped up for this one.
You know, saying that you want to be proactive. You can't depend on, you know, the weak batting lineup of the Windward Islands. In the same way we say that a dominant team on paper is maybe a different team on the field. Well, a weak team on paper, a weak batting lineup on paper could be a different batting lineup on the field as well, Vidya. You can expect anything. It's a game of glorious uncertainties.
Certainly is. That's the end of Haradat's spell. Good spell from her. 1 for 11 in her 4 overs, and she has kept things quiet here. A lot of wides in that spell, but still she's done the job for her team.
Yeah, and speaking about collapse, West Indies, they collapsed to 108 all out in 35 overs at Providence. Bangladesh doing good work with the ball. Mahidi Hassan Miraz leading the way, 4 for 29 in 8 overs. Nasu Mahmid, he had 3 for 19 in 10. Shariful Islam 1 for 9 in 3, and Mossadegh Hussain, he had 1 for 37 in 10. Kemo Paul, he finished with 25 not out.
Well, not a great situation for the West Indies. 150 odd in the last game. Now collapsing there for 108. Well, Bangladesh will be favorites now to take the series.
Spinners once again dominating in Providence. Mahdi Hassan Miraz and Nasu Mohammed.
7 wickets between them for, this is that, 48 runs.
And of course, and Mossadegh Hussain as well had 1. So that's the 3 spinners, 8 wickets to them.
And applying some pressure here. Outside of those wides, not a lot of runs here for the Windward Islands. 21 for 1 after 6 overs. 25 for 1 away in the 9th, halfway through the 9th over. Better from Guyana, but just one run here. And the change around in the last 3 overs has come because of this is the 2nd over for Munisar. She has applied the brakes here to the Windward Islands. They're starting to build something resembling pressure at the moment.
Big turn from Munisar. That one gripped on the surface. Good take by Melanie Dover.
Cut away. Just 1. Deep cover comes into play. There is a Grimond again. And you can see that's a player with a lot of confidence. And when you get 50 not out in a 20 over game, why not? End of the over. 27 for 1 after 9. This is a very interesting situation now. This was the point Guyana was starting to pull ahead. They were 35 for 1. Can the Windward Islands find an extra gear here? That's what they need to do.
Well, Glasgow likes space on the board. She likes to get on with things, and I was like, okay, well, now we're seeing Ramnath coming in to bowl, and I was just about to say that I would like to see Navina Ramnath come in here, both her and Munisar, to operate with the ball. So here she is.
2 spinners on right now. Munisar's bowled 2. Ramnath about to bowl her first delivery, and if they can keep these 2 quiet, build some pressure, play on their patience a little bit, we could see the fall of one of these 2. Glasgow 1 of 12, James 11 of 27. Slow going here for the Windwards. Battle of attrition. Too far down the leg side. James, well, Glasgow would be thinking she missed out because there is a deep square leg and a fine leg, so there's a big gap in between those 2. That was the direction she was looking at. Glasgow is getting a bit impatient here. She has been kept down to 1 of 13. So she's starting to use her feet now. So Dover is going to be interested in that. Good from Ramnath. She's trying to get a false shot out of Glasgow. This will be a big wicket if Guyana can take it. Oh, that one somehow went past the leg stump. Dover doesn't take it cleanly. That was close. That had hit the stumps. That could have been out. Good throw by Hardat.
Glasgow's very quick to get back there. That's good running. You would expect that from Zeta James and Janelia Glasgow. Glasgow is very quick on the field of play, and I can imagine how quick she is on running in between the wickets as well, Vidya.
Good running, very good running. And they sensed that the fielder was not was on her back foot, and they were able to get the single very comfortably.
So that's what we didn't see from the Guyanese, the urgency in between the wickets.
They picked the fielders, yeah. They picked the fielders. Looking for it again. This time the fielder has done well to add some more pressure here. Swept away. Fielder out there. Just going to be 1. So that will end off the first 10 overs here. And the Windward Islands, after 10 overs, are 32 for 1. Guyana were 42 for 1 at that point. Guyana went on to make 82 for 3. So they got 42 runs in their last 10 overs. On the balance of things right now, who would you say is on top on points on this one?
I think with Glasgow and Zeta James there, despite Guyana being ahead at this stage in the first innings, I'd still give the nudge to the Windward Islands team.
Definitely. So Windward Islands 32 for 1 after 10. Here's Riolana Grimond, her first ball of the match. Cut away. Fielder out in the deep, just one. As Retumaya is out there. Oh, they've gone for a second run. That's good running from the Windward Islands. They saw that Retumaya's throw was not going to be a strong one. And they've gone through for that pretty well. So, urgency from the Windward Islands. They got 32 runs off the first 10 deliveries, 10 overs. So they'll have to get a move on here.
Yeah, the difference between both teams certainly lies in their running. And that could prove to be benefit to the Windward Islands. But they're behind the 8 ball just a bit.
Nice looking shot, but straight to the fielder. In the period between the 10th and the 15th over, Guyana picked up 25 runs without losing a wicket. So they went along at just around 5 and over. The Windward Islands need to match and surpass that if they are to get close close to this total, and very similar way in which this innings is developing. Just one wicket down, and a long partnership developing, and aided by a lot of wides.
Yeah, that would help. And looking at the extras column, it's 10 extras now. And, well, take that out of the score, it would have been 25 for 1. Well, actually, it's 11 extras with that wide. So the score would have been 24 for 1, Vidya. That would have looked a different story.
A lot different. Yes, Guyana would, you could say the same about the Guyana innings. Good ball from Grimond. And you score 15 not out for your team, lead them to 84 for 3. And here she is now doing the work with the ball. Tidy start here for Grimond. Edged away. The fielder has not sighted it. That's gone for 4. Not sure if she saw it initially. And just seemed to go after it very slowly. And that has gone for 4. So Grimond a bit too wide this time. And James picks up a boundary.
Yeah, James not going to let that one go. And looks as though that's Lakshmi Mahadev then not being able to get around to stop that one. And Zeta James slashing hard. When you're going, go hard, Vidya. And that's what she did.
Yeah, she didn't seem to pick it up at all.
Yeah.
As the ball was traveling out of the circle, she was still rooted to the spot before starting to move forward. Maybe it's a case of not sighting the ball. And know that with the white ball, where she's looking across the stadium. They are the white seats out on the eastern side of the ground, so I'm not sure if maybe she would have lost them in that. But all the same, it went for 4. Has she taken the edge here? Yes, she has, and that is a big wicket. And that is James gone. 15 of 32 deliveries. And Grimond, she is on fire today. 50, and she's now taken the big wicket of Zeta James.
Confidence in her batting being taken into her bowling effort now. That's the huge wicket. Zeta James now has to go for 15. And what a good low catch taken by Melanie Dover as well. What a timely wicket for the Guyanese.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Grimond taking the wicket. And Guyana, here it is once again. This is how it happened.
Short and wide again, but it was coming back in. And it took the edge. And Dover took the catch. And she knew it from the point she took that catch.
Big deflection there. So that was, she was heading out immediately. So the first wicket falling at 21 for 1, the second wicket at 39. So they've added only 17 runs to that total. The partnership lasting just 5 overs here. So Guyana now has edged in front, the nose is in front at the moment. Another wicket. If they are to get Glasgow, it could be very interesting indeed. So Marcelin has come in. Marcelin has had 37 versus the Windward Islands in this tournament, so she has some runs. Not a lot more than that, but she has some runs at least to draw from memory. So Glasgow is still there, Marcelin is still there, but after that, you tend to feel that there's a little bit of a soft underbelly to the Windward Islands team. Once you can get through that top 4, you're in with a chance.
Yeah, they tend to depend highly on Janelia Glasgow, Zeta James, and Namia Marcelin, Krista Sky Smith as well. Yeah, but this, from what we're seeing here from Navina Ramnath, those slow deliveries, this has been a troubling factor for many batters in this tournament.
Yeah, just to put the pace on the ball to get it away, that's been a real problem. The batters enjoy pace on the ball. They can put it away, but just negotiating the spinners and working that into the gaps and losing their wickets to the spinners. Where have we seen that before today? So just one more to the total here. Successful over for Gramond in the last over, and now Ramnath trying to apply some more pressure in this one. So far so good in this over. And actually that over from Gramond, there was a 4 in it.
Yeah.
And James perhaps, there was a bit of a release in the pressure as she got that boundary. Maybe just going for one shot too many in that over and perishing.
Well, the ball was there, but it was a bit closer. Gramond did well to adjust her line. The delivery prior, which was struck away for a boundary, was a bit wider, and it got some bounce as well. She was playing for bounce. In the end, the ball keeping low as well. That contributed to her wicket.
Due for not collecting cleanly. And that is going to be the end of Ramnath's second over. After 2 overs, none for 6. So that's been tidy from her. So 41 now for 2 at the end of 12 overs. 42 for 2, correction. So it's going to be Gramond to be back on. Munisar bowled the 2 overs. Ramnath has bowled 2. Gramond has bowled 1. So 12 overs. So the options are still here for Munisar. Retimaya still has 1 over. Munisar has 2 more. And Ramnath has a couple. Gramond, we might see Gramond bowl 3 or perhaps 4 on the trot here. Marcelin is now going to take up her guard for the first time. She's batting at the southern end of the ground. And let's see what Gramond has done. She's bowled to the left-handers only. So now she's bowling to the right-hander. That's good. And just testing the defense of the batters in this tournament has proven to be very, very useful, as we saw yesterday.
You're just attacking that middle and off stump line. Some of the batters, not really adept at playing those straighter deliveries on their body.
It's good here from Gramond, just along that off stump. Marcelin does not look as though she's going to be in a defensive frame of mind here. She's trying to get some runs.
And Gramond, of course, her confidence would be high. So you want to dim that a bit. Maybe just take the attack to her.
Into the gap. Should be just 1. Skipper Munisar is there. Just 1 more to the total of Gramond. 1 for 8. Over and a half gone now. And so this over Windward Islands, 42 for 2. Guyana had started to move on now. They got up to 66 after the end of 14 overs. So they are starting to fall behind now, the Windward Islands.
Yeah, this is a period where Guyana started to up the ante a bit. Munisar and Rialana Gramond.
Nice shot, that's 4. Got through the gap between extra cover and the mid-off fielder. And that is a shot that we've seen from her.
When she hits it, it stays hit. Janelia Glasgow. And she likes that area as well. We saw her yesterday striking 2 boundaries in that region. And there's another.
Yeah, it's not a lot of space in between them, but she got that through the gap very well. And once it got past Munisar in that extra cover position, it was no one was going to stop that. You could have been chasing them for days. It would have continued to go. So Munisar, what she's done now, she was in that position just a few balls ago, and she's moved a few spaces away to her left, trying to just close that gap.
She's just opened up that gap now between her and Retimaya, who's sweeping on the offside.
Should be one. Returning for the second. She's going for the second. And she gets there very, very easily in the end. There was always going to be two. That was purposeful running from Glasgow. And just given an example of what should be done. 13 overs gone. Windward Islands 48 for 2.
Yeah, that's good running and communication of high standard there, setting the example. I'm sure a lot of batters in this tournament would want to look on at what Janelia Glasgow did there.
Yes, it's not time to rest on your laurels. Well, at least for the batters.
Speaking about the batters looking on to Glasgow, but he's certainly not looking on at all.
He might be looking on, just taking a very comfortable way of looking at it. It's very cozy there, though.
I think he's maybe just, getting in a well-deserved rest after working all morning here at the Lara Academy.
Is that a leg by? Let's see what umpire Abbott says. Yeah, it is a leg by. It's coming off the pad, going down the leg side. So this is Ramnath continuing here. This is her third over. So the options, just to remind you, for the remaining 6 overs after this one, Munisar still has 2, Drummond has 2, and Ramnath has 1. And Retimaya also has 1 over to go. Comes down to the last over. Would she be your choice, Retimaya?
Yeah, she bowled well. I think I'll trust her if I'm the captain, Ashmini Munisar. I'd trust her to bowl the final over, if it does come down to that, as you said.
Tugged over the onside. That should go for 4. Yes, it has. And Glasgow picks up another boundary. Not the worst delivery in the world.
Some room on offer there for her to free her arms, and she did that nicely. And that brings up the 50 as well for the Windward Islands team. 53 for 2 now.
Yeah, they're falling behind, but a couple of boundaries here. Let's repair the damage. They need 32 off 39, so that's not going to be a problem. A lot of balls in hand here. Ball runs for Glasgow. Just going to be 1 this time.
But she was down to the other end in a flash, and she was waiting to see if Marceline got back up to get the chance for a second. But when she looked back, and she saw Marceline struggling to get to the other end, she almost jogging to the striker's end. But when you're looking for boundaries, who better to have out there than Janelia Glasgow?
Yeah, this is the difference between the two batters. Marceline just in. Now Glasgow would have worked that into a gap and be looking for 2. Two dot balls to end off the over here from Ramnath. And another tidy over. None for 12. The boundary in the over. The Windward Islands 54 for 2 after 14. And at the same position, Guyana was 66 for 1. So they did slow things up in the end.
To be Harish Raghunath again to the back. He's acknowledging those guys there to the front of him, and they're looking on sharply at the game as well. I have a good view of the game from there.
Yeah, it's the corporate boxes away on the southern side of the ground. The man whose name is on the stadium, Brian Lara, has one of those boxes there. The cricket board also has a box there. Straight to the fielder. Oh, that's good. Nice pickup there by Munisar. It was travelling, and if that had gotten past her, would have been some work for Retimaya, who is in that deep extra cover position.
And guess who stopped that? It's Ashmini Munisar, live wire, the captain of the Guyanese team.
Good bowling here from Drummond. Oh, they stuck at one end. And again, Guyana missed a chance at the run out. Both players were almost trapped at one end. And not the best of throws.
Yeah, 2 run out chances already missed by the Guyanese team. And here's a third. Not the best of throws. She would have been gone
Well, Glasgow hit it and ran at the same time. Marcelin was not on the same wavelength. She wasn't even in the same area code at that time. So Gramond keeping it very, very tight here. And after bowling 15 deliveries, yes, there have been a couple of fours. 1 for 15.
It's coming down.
She made a breakthrough.
Yeah, it's coming down very close now to a runner ball video.
Once it goes beyond, once it's less balls and runs, so that's going to be a problem for Windward Islands. This is good here from Gramond. 2 deliveries still to go. That's what umpire Candice Laborde is confirming with her compatriot Maria Abbott. And the third umpire today are part of the team.
Jacqueline Williams.
Jacqueline Williams officiated at the World Cup, the Women's World Cup earlier this year. Just right up the field though, does well to make the stop. That's Hardat. Just 1 taken. Jacqueline Williams, the third. Ramnat, in fact, that is. Similar hairstyle to Hardat and Munisar. Very popular hairstyle on the Guyana women's team.
Yeah, that's the kind of intensity you want to see defending a low total.
Going for the single again, straight to the fielder. Direct hit might be interesting. She survives. Good running here once again, but it's they're taking the chances, the Windward Islands. The pressure is starting to show, and Guyana have not been able to accept that. The winds of change definitely sweeping through this game, but Guyana have not been able to accept the gifts that have come their way.
Is the good friends of Stefanod Mamchan? The apple trees video.
I've seen apple trees. Those are not apple trees. So 57 for 2 after 15 overs, and at the same period, Guyana were more than 10 runs ahead. So the Windward Islands have it all to do. They need 28 runs of 30 deliveries. So that's not too bad. But it's just getting to that period where it's a runner ball. And if they slip under that, then Guyana they're doing their job. These 2 batters, you're seeing more intensity in their shots, more intensity in the running between the wickets here. Glasgow 18 of 30.
Yeah, and once Glasgow remains there, Windward Islands will always consider themselves favourites going further into the game now.
This is where Guyana have to be more intense with Marcelin on. Oh, that's beating the fielder. Mahadev couldn't get across to it, and they will get 2. So that's going to build her confidence here, Marcelin. She's there 5 of 12 deliveries.
You can certainly see the difference in acceleration between both Glasgow and Marcelin. Marcelin taking a time.
Almost, yes, she has played it on. There is the wicket. They wanted Guyana outside the off stump, and Marcelin looking to work that away on the offside and has played it onto the off stump, and that is the wicket here, taken by Ramnat. She's had her first wicket, 1 for 15, and Marcelin gone for 5.
Yeah, breaking another partnership here. This time Ramnat getting into the act, getting her first wicket of the match. Here's that ball again, wide outside the off stump, played on. That's unfortunate there from Namaya Marcelin, taking that ball from way outside the off stump, dragging it back onto the stumps. She has to go for 5. Windward Islands losing their 3rd wicket. That's not good.
29 balls that partnership lasted, and they got 21 runs, so they really slowed down during that period. But Marcelin, who was trying to accelerate the scoring there, and just getting an under edge onto the stumps. So it is going to be Alexander to come in now, and Alexander bowled in this match, but Alexander is going to try to see what she can do to lift the spirits of the Windward Islands camp at the moment.
Nisha Alexander, number 1 on her back. Just 25 required now from 27. This could well and truly get down to that final over.
It could be very close here. She hasn't. Oh, she got it past the bowler. That should have been stopped, but couldn't get across it quickly enough. So Alexander off the mark, and that brings the dangerous Glasgow back on strike. The more she faces up here, the less Guyana's chances of winning this game will be.
I think it's her wicket they'd want to get.
Straight back to the bowler. She stopped that. At least she got it. Stopped it from getting past her. Last ball of her spell now, Ramnath. 1 for 16. She'll hope to finish it off well. That's beaten the fielder. They'll get 1. They will get a second run here. So 2 more runs, and Ramnath's spell has ended. 1 for 18. At the end of 16 overs, the Windward Islands are 63 for 3. And this is the period in the game when Guyana started to slow down. Here, Visham, they were 66 for 1 after 16. They were 66 for 1 after 16 overs. So in that 2-over period, they only got really 1 run. So it's almost level here once again.
Yeah, but you'd have to, of course, adjudge Windward Islands' favourites at the moment. 3 wickets down, 63 on the board. I think, with 4 overs to go, they could be the team to run away with this. But 22 from 24, and we are seeing Grimmond operating. She had a good spell thus far.
Wicket still needed here for Guyana. Alexander powering this one away. There's going to be a run out here, and Alexander's gone. She ran down the pitch immediately after hitting the ball, and Munisar's cool as you like just tossed it back to Dover, and Alexander is run out for 1. 4th wicket down.
Yeah, Alexander there looking very unhappy. Glasgow was coming to meet her there, and then she went back. So that's what she was probably unhappy about. But it was shot straight to the fielder. Certainly a run not on offer there. And Alexander has to go for 1. Wickets continue to fall now for the Windward Islands.
2 wickets for 3 runs. So Alexander is out. Now joining the Windward Islands out there is Fontaine, the wicketkeeper. And this is the sort of slide we've seen from the Windward Islands in the tournament. That apparent soft underbelly in the batting order. So Guyana will feel that they're in with a chance here. Despite the presence of Glasgow, they're in with a shout.
Yeah, but they won't want to, sit back here and allow things to happen. They need to continue to get wickets here now. 4 wickets down. It's still in the favour of the Windward Islands team, but Guyana, in order to stop the Windward Islands, they need to continue to pick up wickets. Grimmond 1 for 17 in 3.1 overs.
Fontaine, she didn't get a touch onto that. That'll be buys. Exactly what you don't want. You're defending only 22 runs remaining, and you missed the ball. So that's naughty. Guyana have given away a lot of runs here from missed fields. There have been some rather ordinary fielding, a lot of wides also.
You can't afford to let those simple chances go. That would have been a dot ball had that been collected cleanly, and Glasgow would have been off strike. But here she is on strike now.
Hits that straight. Fielder's coming across. Makes the stop. Good bit of work in the outfield here. And I think that is Amin. Is that Amin who came across? No, it's not. Durant is the fielder at that long off position. Moved across smartly and kept it down to 1. More importantly, that has taken Glasgow off the strike. 22 of 34.
It was struck hard from Glasgow. So good work there by Crystal Durant.
That's lifted over the head of the fielder, and that's gone for 4. 2 bounces into the boundary, and Fontaine has announced her arrival here.
That's the power of Anisha Fontaine. Not going through with the shot that much, just whipping it. Wristy over the mid-on fielder's head and all the way for 4.
Well, she is going to... It's going to be interesting now. And Guyana needs some dot balls in here at this time. 16 needed of 20. Grimond has 2 balls remaining. She will want to see this out here. And Guyana pushed the fielders back now to long on and long off.
4 fielders on the boundary for the Guyanese.
Fontaine goes for the run. Grimond is there. They're throwing to the wrong end. She's hit the stumps. But Grimond was, well, Glasgow was there. But that was another chancy run. Glasgow, you know, hearing off to the other end with 2 balls still to go. Well, 1 ball still to go in the over.
Yeah, Glasgow trusted her chances there. Trusted her abilities to get across to the other end. Trisha Hardat with a direct hit from backward point.
Strikes on the pad. Candice Laborde turns it down. That is the end of Grimond's spell. 1 for 23. She made the initial breakthrough. But now Windward Islands need 15 of 18 deliveries. Very much in favor of the team batting at this moment to win this game in the last 3 overs.
Yeah, they need to be very tight here now in these final 3 overs here, the Guyanese. And the captain bringing herself back into the attack now to stem the run scoring. Look to pick up wickets. There's the Guyanese bowling card. Retamaya on for 14 in 3. Trisha Hardat 1 for 11 in 4. Munisar, who's just come back into the attack, she's just conceding 2 runs in her 2 overs. Navina Ramnath 1 for 18 in 4. And Rialana Grimond 50 with a bat earlier, and the wicket to her name now 1 for 23 in her 4 overs.
Dot balls worth a lot right now for the Guyanese. And they're going for the singles, and they've picked their fielder once again. Mahadeo, certainly not one of the fastest fielders for the Guyana team. And again, they've been able to take that run very comfortably.
Yeah, and what we're seeing here from the Guyanese, they are allowing too many easy singles to the Windward Islands batters, Vidya. That really cost them in this innings.
This time, Mahadeo is in a little bit closer on, just about maybe 10 meters closer in. So that's prevented the single, so that's good thinking by Munisar. She's not the fastest over the first 10 paces or so. So she's given her a huge head start. Gone for the big hit. Not far away from the off stump of Glasgow. Munisar holds ahead. Glasgow is not too happy there.
They're putting a lot of revs on that ball. They're getting it right up there as well. Drift and turn there from the off spinner. Ashmini Munisar. Glasgow not being able to put away that ball. 14 from 15 now.
This is more like it here from Munisar. Just 1 run of 3 deliveries. If she can keep it very tight for the remaining 3, Guyana could be back into this. Straight to the fielder. They've gone for the run. Oh, she hasn't been able to get rid of the ball quickly enough. And the batters complete the run. That is good running between Glasgow and Fontaine. They're putting the pressure on here, Visham.
Yeah, getting the quick singles, putting pressure on the fielders. Dover was livid with Grimond there. She wasn't able to get the ball back in time.
Munisar was just about to deliver, and there was a fielder still moving. She pulled out of it. Big sweep into the gap again. This could be 2. They will turn for the second. Well, if it had not been the fielder out there, is that Retamayo's out there? She's thrown that in powerfully. Barkoi, and they get just 1. Tidy over again from Munisar. Just 2 runs. 3 runs conceded in the over. 5 deliveries. They're going for the single. There could be a chance here. Oh, she's dropped the ball. Not the best throw. And they survive. So that's the end of Munisar's over. She has 1 more to go. So we might be seeing the return here of Retimaya. So that is just 11 runs needed. Here's how it happened.
That's a 5th run out chance going to begging. Dover not collecting. How often have we seen that from her?
Wow.
She was miles out of the picture there, Vidya.
Yeah, and the batter was halfway down the track. She was way beyond the point of no return. All she had to do was just collect the ball and apply it to the stumps, and it would have been out. So Guyana not doing themselves any favors with their fielding today.
And you're right, Vidya. Retimaya going to come back into the attack.
So Munisar will take the responsibility of bowling the last over.
Well, if
Retimaya just the last over for her.
Well, if it does get to the final over, 11 from 12.
It does, yes. 11 off 12. Time to nibble on those fingernails if you are so inclined. But a boundary here could make this very interesting. And Glasgow, who has shown the propensity to hit powerfully, she's on 24 of 39. And Guyana now, they have 2 players on the offside, inside the circle, 3 on the leg side. And Retimaya is on here. Oh, and she starts off very poorly with a wretched wide. That's not the ball you want to start off with. It's not even the field for full and wide here.
Yeah, they've stacked up the onside, and there's only that one fielder sweeping on the offside on the boundary, and there's that long off fielder. But now they're moving Lakshmi Mahadev across from that short fine leg position into a short 3rd man position now.
Oh, she's bowled her! That's straight through, and Retimaya has done the trick. Glasgow is out. Massive wicket here for Guyana. 10 runs to go. Yes. Take the pictures. That's the picture that's going to be on the papers in Guyana tomorrow. And Retimaya has done the trick. That is it for Glasgow.
Right up in the block hole there. That's where you want to bowl to someone of the caliber of Janelia Glasgow in this phase of the innings, who's looking to get quick runs. Right up there. Glasgow playing all over it, and her middle stump was knocked back. And what a celebration from Siana Retimaya. Glasgow has to go for a well played 24-40. Unfortunately, she couldn't finish the game for the Windward Islands.
Still, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that the Windward Islands can go on to win this. Just 10 needed off 11 balls. Glasgow is gone, but in comes Gaines. Now, she was injured earlier in the match, as you remember, what seemed to be some injury to the rotator cuff, and she's still flexing that right arm. Is that going to affect her as she's batting here? The right-hander. That's the bottom. That will be the bottom hand.
Yeah, so what she may need to do here is get Fontaine on strike, Vidya. Fontaine has already struck a boundary in this innings already.
Good ball from Retimaya, and she does well to field to her own bowling. So Guyana starting. This one has gone this way and that, and now Guyana are back ahead for the first time in quite a long time in this game.
It's 10 from 10 now required.
Down the leg side, that's not needed at this point from Retimaya. But she's done the job already, getting rid of the dangerous Glasgow. And nervous moments here for Fontaine and the new batter. And Gaines here going through some nervous moments. She's still not quite happy with the equipment. Glasgow was also doing a lot of equipment adjustments just before she got out. And now Gaines. She's ready. The right-hander to face up to Rettemeier. They're going for the single. There could be a run out here. There should be. No. Another. Oh, she's been given. Wow. Has she gotten that? She's gone. And that is the end of Gaines. Gaines is run out for without scoring. And let's see what happens here. Rettemeier gets it. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. She was still holding on to the ball while... Yeah, she has the ball in her hands now, just about there. Well, I think the wicket was broken without the ball in her hand. So that's going to be unfortunate, but Gaines has to go here. She's been run out. And I don't think Rettemeier had the ball in her hand when the wicket was broken. So Munisar gets the throw in. And for a moment there, I thought Guyana had got left another run out there. But it has been given. But I think Gaines is a bit unlucky not to still be there. Good delivery, hits the pads. They will get some runs here. It's not LBW. And they get 2. So this game has been turning this way and that. And Saint-Jean is out there for the Windward Islands. Charlize. And 76 for 6 now. Another wide from Rettemeier. Boy, this has not helped the Guyana cause at all. That's 3 wides in the over from her now. And the last ball hit the pads and they went away for 2. So she hasn't been able to get it right. 1 good delivery in the over. That took care of Glasgow, but the rest of them, they've been down the leg side. Better delivery here from Rettemeier. That's more like it.
Yeah, that's a better delivery there, certainly. She's been unlucky in the over as well. One of the deliveries going through the legs of Abini Saint-Jean.
Off the pad, they're going for the single and they will get it. So again, Guyana unable to really keep these singles down, and that is the end of the over. 79 for 6 at the end of the over. 5 runs coming off that one. 80, correction, off the over. So 6 runs coming off the over. And just 5 runs needed to win here. 6 deliveries. Windward Islands can do this. Now, what are Guyana going to do? Are they going to keep fielders out to the boundary? Will they bring their fielders into the circle at this point to keep the runs down?
It's going to be an interesting finish video. He said it. If it came down to this final over, it's going to be an exciting finish. Let's see. It's the battle for 3rd place. Windward Islands looking to remain 3rd and finish 3rd in the tournament. And Guyana, they're looking to move up from 6th into that 3rd position to finish 3rd.
So the off spinner is now going to be bowling to Saint-Jean. And she's coming over the wicket. She's turning it into the right-hander. So they have 3 players on the offside. Just out of your picture there. And on the onside, 3 more players in the arc. So 6 inside of the circle for the moment. Turned away. Oh, that's a good shot. This could run away close to the boundary. They've gone for 1. They've gone for 2 now. And here's the return coming in. So that's 2 out of 5 needed now. Windward Islands, 82 for 6. 5 balls still to go. Oh, and there's a run short. It's all happening. So just 1 run scored. Yes. And it happened at the presiding umpire's end. So it was Saint-Jean that grounded short at the other end. Swings that away. Where has this gone? Wow. Well, that just trickled down the pitch. They were looking for the run. 4 of 4 Visham Lalman. Too close to call at this point.
Nail biting contest. Let's see how it ends.
So Shaw hits it straight towards the fielder, who misses the catch. They've gone for one. They will get two. Munisar breaks the stumps, but the fielder, the batter is back in. And that was a catch. It was missed at short extra cover.
Should have been a dot ball. Should have been a wicket first, then a dot ball. And well, she allowed the batters to get through for two, so it's now 2 from 3.
2 from 3, and it's Fontaine, the dangerous Fontaine, who's there. She has 9 of 7. Oh, she's cracked it away, and that has gone all the way for 6, and the Windward Islands win it dramatically with 2 balls to go. Fontaine hits a 6 and a 4 in a short innings, and she has ended the game. Guyana lose 4 in a row, and the Windward Islands have won it here. And what an innings from Fontaine, 15 off 8, and the Windward Islands run out to win this one. A thriller by 2 with 2 balls to spare.
Hey, what a game on the final day here. Guyana, they've lost against Windward Islands, but what a magnificent finish. You know, 2 deliveries to go, winning just with that 2 deliveries to go. Fontaine finishing it off nicely for the Windward Islands, and they will finish 3rd here in this Cricket West Indies Rising Stars T20 Championship.
Well, Guyana will feel very disappointed. They've missed a ton of runouts in this game. There have been misfields all the way through, and a lot of wides, especially in that penultimate over from Retimaya. So Guyana will lose their last 4 games, and the Windward Islands will hold on to 3rd place. But it all remains to be seen later on. But what a match we've had, Visham Lalman.
Excellent game all around. You know, Guyana still fighting down to the final over. Vidya. There's their bowling card, just 3 wickets. They managed their 1 run out as well. But there's the batting scorecard for the Windward Islands. 6 to Sky Smith on top. Zeta James had 18. Janelia Glasgow was bowled in that penultimate over by Sienna Retimaya for 24. Namaya Marcelin had 5. But Fontaine finishing with 15 not out of 8 deliveries.
That was the crucial innings coming in late, Fontaine, and she was positive from the get-go, and she's been able to take her team off the line. They finished in 3rd place, and look at, you can see what it means to this Windward Islands team. They raced out and they were celebrating wildly here at the Lara Cricket Academy, and that is what it means to them to finish so strongly in this one. What about the bowling figures now? Well, we've seen the bowling figures, 3 wickets going down. And while there have been a lot of dot balls for the Guyana team, there were also a lot of wides which assisted the Windward Islands team to no end. 19 extras, and when you're defending only 84, 19 extras is unforgivable.
Yeah, you can't afford to bowl extras when you're defending such a meager total of 83?
84 in fact was the 84 for 3, the Guyana team, and Windward Islands getting up to win this one with 2 balls to spare. What an exciting game, and that sets things up nicely for later on today when Trinidad and Tobago will play against the USA. Just turning to that one, Visham, I'm sure you're looking forward to that, and we'll be joined by Anil Lakan for that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a big contest. Trinidad and Tobago taking on the United States of America. I'm sure the fans will be coming in as we speak for that contest.
And they're already here in their numbers, and that contest is in just about an hour and 15 minutes time. We hope that you'll join us for that, but we leave the news now that the Windward Islands have beaten Guyana by 4 wickets in their last match of the tournament. They've won this game with 2 balls to spare. Thanks so much for joining us for this match. Hope you'll join us for the next one, USA versus Trinidad and Tobago, in the final match of the tournament that is taking place at 2:30 p.m.